The views expressed on the previous programs.
Oh, please tell me I didn't just hear Stormcat. Tell me I was a bad dream. Oh, no. Stormy. Hey, Storm.
We all heard.
You're listening to South Florida.
Would you rather hear Normie or Stormy?
560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Who'd you rather die before you ever heard from again? Normie or Stormy? Oh, you're playing that no matter what shape your stomach is in by the T-Bone.
I was inspired from yesterday.
Speaking of Teabag, I got a real caustic email from Teabag Ballsacks.
Oh, no.
Who just doesn't have any of his facts right, but nevertheless. Just make up a bunch of stuff. That always works real well.
Sure. What they do anyway.
To talk to
what we do anyway.
Neil adores Rob Marciano, right.
In other counties,
I wish him nothing but evil.
785-NEIL.
Hate him like poison.
Pound 560 on your AT&T and Verizon wireless
It's like Rocky Marciano.
The opinions expressed by Neil, his guests,
I like
or
those
his
cauliflower
colleagues
ears.
do not represent those of WQAM management, staff,
Stormy! Hey, Stormy! Don't ever call the station again, Stormy.
On 560 WQAM. Neil Yard. Real American A-holes. Real American A-holes. We salute you, Mr. Road Cone Placement Engineer.
Oh, that's not the bit I wanted to play. The numbers are wrong on this disc to connect. God.
The economy is shrinking.
Winter.
Light a fire.
But I couldn't afford the matches. Recession.
Shh, don't say it.
She covered her ears, but could still hear his voice. Recession.
Let's go back to Morocco.
I can't. I have a...
You have a...
Subprime mortgage. Recession. She took it all. My house, my car. Recession. My heart.
You could never afford me.
She never said why, but I knew.
I have to let you go.
Recession. She had a black heart. And a pink slip. Recession.
It's not a word. It's a feeling.
Recession. The new fragrance from Calvin Klein. Recession.
Available at Big Lots.
What's everybody whispering about?
10:01 at 560 WQM. Happy Thursday to you, February 26th. This month is almost over, thank God. Then it'll be March on Saturday. Isn't Saturday March 1st? You bet.
Yes. Happy anniversary.
Boy, you sure didn't sound too enthusiastic about that.
Happy anniversary.
Didn't sound real sincere.
I'm not quite awake yet.
Oh, speaking of pink slips, you're what?
I said, how's it going, eh?
New jobless claims rose more than expected last week. The number of laid-off Americans continuing to receive unemployment benefits topped 5.1 million. Fresh evidence the recession is increasingly forcing employers to shed jobs. Everybody's out on the beach. They're all fired at it. The Labor Department said today that first-time request for unemployment benefits jumped to 667,000 from the previous week's figure of 631,000. Analysts had expected a slight drop in claims. Didn't happen. The 676,000 new claims are the most since October 82, although the labor force has grown by about half in those 17 years, but nevertheless, 27 years. How do you like that?
Bummer.
Not good. Everybody's out on the beach. Well, have a good time on the beach anyway. Collect some seashells. NASDAQ's up 10 points. I bet you the Dow is up, too. That must be because everybody's out of work. The S&P, oh, yeah, the S&P's up almost 12 points. The S&P is up, Neil. Oh, and tomorrow, of course, is Maria Bartiromo's new segment, Lose Your Ass Friday. Lose your ass in the market Friday. There's our president.
And the budget is more than simply numbers on a page.
Dow's up 101 points. All right. They like those unemployment numbers.
All right.
The market and the street and the street and the market and yada, 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 and the banks and all this other crap. Okay, so here's Teabag Ballsack says, penny for your thoughts. See, if you're going to send me a caustic email, at least have some of your facts right, which you don't.
Nah, that's no fun.
I beg your pardon?
That's no fun.
Oh. Although the first part he does have right. Neil Rogers hated There Will Be Blood and No Country for Old Men. Yeah, because they both sucked. But loves The Hitcher. Well, guess what? The original Hitcher with C. Thomas Howell and Rutger Hauer is a million times the movie that either one of those are. And I said the remake of The Hitcher wasn't all that bad. I watched it. Do I love The Hitcher? Is it one of my all-time favorite movies? No, but I like it just fine. The original one.
You like it?
I like it. Neil Rogers hates sports nerds but never misses an NFL game. If you watch NFL football, does that make you a sports nerd? No, I don't think so. Neil Rogers hates Rachel Maddow, but can't stand all the right-wingers all the time. What does one have to do with the other? Does that mean that everybody who's to the left of Attila Hunt is a great broadcaster? I think she blows, personally. I don't like her
I don't think
show.
She blows.
I don't watch her show. And I can't stand all the right-wingers any of the time. Neil Rogers has never eaten Indian cuisine or curry goat, but he knows he hates it. That's absolutely another lie. I've eaten plenty of curry in my time, and it sucked. I don't like the taste. I don't like the smell. Curry goat I have not eaten and will not. I've not eaten goat, you old goat. He loves Taco Bell, eats hot dogs one after another, chases it down with Diet Dr. Pepper. It's still been like at least, I would say a year since I've eaten a taco smell. But then because I talk about it on the air, oh, well, he must eat every day a taco smell. I do like Diet Dr. Pepper, and you know what? That's my business. I'll drink whatever the hell I want to drink.
No.
Ball sack.
You have to drink.
Oh, no, I'll like whatever he tells me to like. That's right, I forgot.
There you go.
Neil Rogers doesn't tolerate homophobes, but doesn't seem too fond of, I think he means fond of, butch bulldogs, a term of affection, ? Because I talked about Ann Bishop yesterday. She was a butch, obnoxious, hateful bulldyke. Just because somebody is gay doesn't make them a nice person. Just because somebody is Jewish doesn't make them a nice person. Just because somebody is a raghead. Just because somebody has got a stupid name like Teabag Ballsacks. Neil Rogers can't stand Mickey Rourke, but thinks the Jonas Brothers seem pretty neat. What I said was Joey Jonas looks pretty damn good to me. They can't sing a lick, and what does Mickey Rourke have to do with the Jonas Brothers? Does he sing?
Oh, let's hear him. Let's hear some. Maybe he's a better singer. He can't be worse.
Thinks they're pretty neat. Neil Rogers cringes at the mere mention of Maria Martiromo, but adores Rob Marciano, the crazy global warming denier from CNN. I was the one that ripped him an ass for all that irresponsible global warming denying, and I can't stand Rob Marciano. And I've said that a zillion times, but I adore... just get one fact right in here.
Come on.
Neil Rogers has a lot on his mind. None of it follows any logical thought process, but hey, it's just a radio show, says Teabag Ballsacks. Well, good, I'm glad you understand that.
Well, he finally said something right.
Wow, it's just a radio show. But Neil likes adores this one, yeah. And what if I did? What if I do? I have to justify to some anonymous jackass with some fake phony name on the internets out there what I like and what I don't like?
Maybe I do.
That's right. And maybe I don't. Maybe I doesn't. Rudy, March 1st is on Sunday. Isn't that what I said?
You might have
said
Saturday. I don't know.
No, Saturday's the 28th of February. First of Sunday. First of March is on Sunday. See, I told you.
You made a mistake.
Yeah, you made a mistake. You made a mistake. We're going to send you 8 million emails. Sunday's March 1st. Oh, boy, Neil, you're so full of it. And Teabag Ballsack says, sack this. God. That's definitely a John ZTR. Who sends me an email today denying that he was any of the people of the other day, whenever.
Whatever.
Here it is. John ZTR, subject, emails. Hey, Neil, just for the record, I haven't sent any emails in this week except on this address. Heard you reading an email yesterday, then say it was John ZTR, how horrible and unfunny he was. That was Rooster Cogburn Schmendrick, whatever his name was. That wasn't me, I can guarantee it. I at least try to make them funny. But keep please, you and George can keep on blaming bad emails on me. Let me read that sentence again. That's not my dyslexia kicking in. That's what he writes. But please, you and George can keep on blaming bad emails on me.
It's all right. I understand dyslexic.
And what does that mean?
I speak fluent dyslexia. Keep giving him credit for the emails, whether he writes them or not.
Oh, but please, you.
Yes.
I see. Get some help, John, before it's too late. And I'm sure you must have a real name out there somewhere in Radioland. Coming out of the closet with some phony,
Hey.
What?
People that use fake names.
That's right, like...
Oh, God!
There's a difference between a stage name and a made-up, phony, stupid name, like Ballsack Schmendrick.
Yep.
Like Chaim Yankel.
Jaime Yankel?
Like Afzulachas. That's a good name.
Oh, hey. Finally. I can
Steve
sleep.
says, I'm enjoying the show. Well, that's a surprise. Wow, we got one already. Likes
One in
the
a
show.
row.
Hope you and George are well. Well, we're doing okay.
Getting some free food today. I'm all excited.
Yeah, George got free food today from Keg South.
I'll be getting some tomorrow, too.
I got a Woodbine free day. Whoa, boy, I'm telling you, I got a story about that. Nobody would be interested, though, about what they did to the Wheel of Fortune machines and they rejiggered them.
What?
Oh, my God. And everybody's just having a fit, including me. But the good thing of it is because they're not paying in the beginning. Whoever sent me that information, by the way, was right. When they put in new machines, they don't pay for, until they get loaded up with cash, you know. And so they're just sucking money machines right now with a bunch of sevens on them. Well, what is that? All these stupid-ass sevens.
I don't know.
And if you match any 3 sevens, it's 10 credits. Well, whoopee-doo. Woo! You people, and so they forced me over to, my quick hit, And during the bonus game, I got 7 quick hits.
That's great.
Heavy-duty cash, trust me. Heavy duty. So thanks, Woodbine, for screwing up those boring old Wheel of Fortune games and chasing me over to the quick hit. I like quick hit better, and it's more fun. Oh, you're playing those slot machines still, you old fairy? Yeah. Anyway, it says from Stephen, I heard you say you may be updating the website shortly, and as a gesture to help, I've checked which links are now dead and listed them below. Hope this saves Eric a little time.
Excellent. Forward that along to Eric or me.
Got a list of bad links. Canadian Alternative, yes for local control, no more Bush girls, dames demanding democracy, Save Radio Now, and Disinfotainment.
That was very nice.
With regard to the... well, you're not going to like this.
Oh, gee, whatever. Let me sneeze. Okay, I'm done.
Pop a couple of pills now before I read the rest of this. Because you're giving Stephen credit, and I don't think you're going to like him so much when I get to the end of this.
Whatever.
With regard to the ongoing George bashing, normally he is just fine filling in for you, but last week he seemed to be under pressure. Oh, like the market with Maria. It's under pressure. It's under pressure. He was... sounds like his nose is under pressure now. George blows. He was so insecure he was claiming he could beat anyone listening in any sport they like. Trouble is, George's sports are tetherball and roller skating.
That's not what I said, Mr. Liar.
The other thing he was doing was painting some Huck Finn-style portrait of his childhood, hitching rides and pickups and waiting for the pumpkin patch to open.
Yeah.
Come on, George, get back to being a bit edgy. But remember, not everyone thinks that it's great to smoke dope, and anyone over the age of 12 who rides a skateboard for fun is a wanker. Having said all that, still the best 4 hours on the radio, and the price is right. Love, Steve. Well, thanks, Steve, I guess.
Nah.
No thanks?
No thanks. Get a life.
Thanks,
off
but
you
no
go.
thanks.
F off.
Get back to being edgy, George. Come on.
Yeah.
Edgy.
Take a flying F.
Like Edgerrin James there, that football guy.
Didn't say any of those
edgy.
things he said, I said.
What?
I didn't say any of those things that he said.
It's like the other guy. It's like Isaac Burst, whatever his name is. Oh, George Adore or Neil adores Rob Marciano. And never have said that. I don't have any use for him. I've said that, when you get up within 100 yards, he's ugly as sin. And number 2, he's irresponsible for going on worldwide TV and trying to debunk global warming and saying irresponsible, idiotic, obviously on the face of them, stupid things. But nevertheless, whatever you say is right, whatever I say is is wrong. One thing that I've learned on this show, especially since we started with the emails, I mean, the phone calls are one thing, but the emails is it's a new Gary Conduit.
No.
For the audience. Yes, it is. It's a new method to...
it's a new method, all right.
To let me know how... Oh, look at this. Bonjour, Neil Rogers. Bonjour. Nous sommes in Frog. Femme français. Nous serions ravis de vous computer par... Yeah, right. And then it was so important they sent it twice. Rick says, I don't know if this is possible, but if it is, it would be great. As you approach 33 years on South Florida Radio, whatever it says, as someone who has listened to you most of that time, I'd love to hear clips from some of those early shows. Oh, yeah. Whip that magic wand out, George. There it is. A few short clips from IOD, Zeta, and WN Snooze. A few calls from the old mating and dating show would be great, where a friend of mine hooked up with a real skank. I hope that you can and will do this for us, Neil, but either way, happy anniversary and thanks for doing what you do. In spite of all the hurdles thrown at you, you still produce the most entertaining show on radio. Well, Rick, I don't know how we produce, how we get those. We don't got them. Come on, Neil, you got them somewhere. You're hiding them up your ass. You got old clips and old calls, dating show, and... what are these people thinking about? They think this stuff just exists somewhere, like back before the days of the internets?
That's right.
Let's go into the ancient radio archives. Let's get the old callers from KAT. You'll never make it 6 months in this town, Rogers.
By the way,
you'll never... What?
Speaking of that, what we do have on old reels, where are we going to find a reel-to-reel machine to play it? And what I do have on like some mini discs or something like that, we couldn't get 3 words into any segment.
Right, without having to bleep it.
Bleep it, abort, bail out of it, because every other word.
Those are the PJ days, pre-Joyce.
Fart sounds, things like that.
The BJ days before Joyce.
They're useless anymore.
No, God. He signed into law his big stimulus plan, so we're hoping our future is bright. See, we're all in the mood for recovery, but I'm still broken, homeless,
Short and sweet. I like that. Let's keep playing that till 2 o'clock. What do you say?
Sure. Play
2 o'clock, we got the big O.
Oh.
In spite of popular demand, people are lined up all the way to Otis, screaming and yelling and carrying on. Mad Dog 4 to 7. 7 to 7:30, we got what? What does that say? The Beast? That must be a typo.
No.
The Beast? Because he's the program director's boyfriend. I think that Flea ought to do something about that. Get him off the air, Flea. Get that tub of turd off the air. Butch up. See, one thing about Flea, he has good intentions, but you know what they say about good intentions? Going to hell in a handbasket and all that other stuff?
Yeah.
Hurricane warm-up, 7:30 to 8. UM at University of Virginia, 8:30 to 10:30. Oh, what is it? And then DA after that, UM basketball crap. So Clarence, I guess, isn't there today, right?
I haven't seen him.
He's in Virginia with a banjo on his thing. A banjo on his vagina. Clarence. And the Beast, no doubt. Oh. Here's the poll question we got going right now. It's Brandon's if you want to blame somebody. It's a good poll. I like it. You like it?
It's fine.
Let me take a look and see how that Neutrogena is doing between my fingers. I think I got like a fungal infection or something. I don't know. Or maybe I have that skin-eating disease. I don't know.
Ooh, hey.
That flesh-eating. Well, this is going on for 2-3 weeks. Like roughness, skin roughness between the... and it's just between the little pinky and the 2 fingers next to it. Especially the little pinky. Stinky. Like itches and dry. Ooh, it's nasty. I think it's fallen off. And the finger, too. What minor injury is the most painful? Is our poll question. Speaking of that, 704 vote. Punched in the balls wins hands down your pants, 384.
That's what I voted.
Well, punched in the balls is like, you know, you can get hit by a ball or by an object. Now, punched in the balls seems to me to be a little, I don't know anybody who gets punched in the balls.
Hit. You don't? Next time you're in town.
No, seriously, nobody comes up and punches you in the nuts.
Not for a long time, no.
No, but accidentally you get hit by objects and stuff.
Sure.
Punched in the balls, 384, winning hands down. Paper cut, 86, that's what I voted for. Oh, there are few things more annoying and real sharp pain. Real, like, searing pain than a paper cut. Ooh. Stub toe, 74. Poke in the eye, 47. Banged elbow, 36. Ice cream headache, 35. I haven't had one of those in years. I wish I did get ice cream headaches, then maybe I wouldn't eat it.
Maybe.
Where you say, or anything that you eat that's too cold, like an ice headache.
Right, like a milkshake, if you drink a milkshake.
Right, too cold, and all of a sudden it goes to your forehead, and your head feels like it's going to explode. Oh, jeez. My cup hat mir tut weh.
What?
Kicked in the shin, 23. Bumping your head on something, 17. Cut by shaving, only 2. Yeah, because usually if you nick yourself shaving, it's like a little, although it is annoying, but it's not painful.
A lot of times you don't even notice it, and there's all this
That's
blood.
right, and then all of a sudden you see the little bloody, and you keep taking the wads of toilet paper and stuff and Kleenex and shoving it on there and trying to dry up the bleeding.
Leave the house without realizing that you've cut yourself.
Oh, yeah, and then you got blood all over your chin. Oh, God.
Embarrassing.
Is it?
Well, there are worse things, I guess, like pooping your pants, maybe.
Speaking of that, I'm going to be joicing here soon. I did not.
Really?
I didn't take the time this morning to have a morning sit. Sit, that was.
Right.
I just didn't do it. Well, I was running a little bit behind the schedule. I don't know why. Well, I'll tell you why. Because I came in here and I was reading something on the internets, and I was in here actually a couple minutes earlier than usual. And I looked at the clock and it said 8:27, and I thought I haven't even brushed my teeth or shaved or schmat or showered or anything. Any of the SHs. And so I got up out of my chair here and I ran in there and did that. Brandon says it would be nice if it was possible to hear some of that classic stuff. What I'm not understanding is there are MP3s all over the internet of other hosts and shows, but of you, nothing. That's right. The only thing of you from the old days is the audio that first day you were in Tampa hosting with Lassiter. Or the show where you had him on, The show where you had him on when you were trying to get him on in Tampa. Brandon's a little bit out of control there. Oh, there's the promo for the Supernatural.
You know, saving people, hunting things,
been insane.
Business. No, I gotta find Jessica.
Sam and Dean, whatever they do. I don't care what you call them, but they're both just super hot. Oh, but you're straight, Neil. You're really straight. Other than that, there's nothing. But you can listen to 5 million air checks of Jim Dunlap. Well, it's just, my career's been mishandled badly, Brandon. You know that. Oh, here we go. The fake Clarence is at us with one today. You are no longer the only Rogers on QAM. I stole the great Kevin Rogers from across the street. The great Kevin Rogers that got canned across the street. We stole him. I'm even thinking about smuggling another Jorge to QAM. George Sedano, that is. Sorry, Niels Jorge. I apologize that it's taken me longer than expected to get you on the Joe Rose Show. Joe doesn't need another person to wipe his ass, and he has 3 or 4 people already doing that. Maybe Stormcat can come work in George's place on the Neil Rogers Show once George moves to Joe's show. Have a great deal, Neil. George, have an okay day. Sign the fake clearance. Real funny stuff, huh? What? Oh, here's Mr. Shun Yin. He has a business proposal of $17,300,000 for me. I think I'll pass. Probably a bad mistake. See that, Neil? There's $17 million sitting there waiting right for you, and you're just such a underachiever. You're so lazy, fat old fag. I think that Neutrogena is helping my fingers.
Good. Love the stuff.
Do you?
Yeah, when it's winter.
Is it for dry skin?
When it's dry, yes.
Well, it's a super dry winter here this year, so maybe that's what the problem is. Maybe it's dry in the skin, too.
There's nothing else like it.
Between those last 2 fingers. Oh, well. Or like you said, maybe there's a fungus among us.
Could be.
Now, a fungal infection, how do you recognize one? Does it have like a name or something?
I don't. Maybe it's got a familiar face or something.
A happy face?
I don't. That's why I would have gone to a dermatologist. That's what I did do.
I'm not going to no dermatologist. This is like just a little irritation.
Okay.
You're like one of those people. Every time you fart the wrong flavor, you run to the doctor.
Okay, yeah, that's what I am.
You must have good health care.
No.
No?
I don't do those things, but go ahead, keep making stuff up.
You don't do what things? Well, you just said it yourself. I didn't make up the statement.
That's what I would do if I had something that I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. But
if it was something that you thought might be
a fungal infection or something like that, yeah.
A fungal infection?
What you
What's
just said.
What's the big deal with that?
Nothing, except it'll drive you crazy.
Mushrooms are a fungus. You ever have mushrooms? I bet you did.
Yeah, recently.
I got some in the refrigerator right now. I got some mushrooms, and I'm not talking about the kind you are.
Yeah, I know.
Everything George deals with has always got to do with some hallucinogenic thing, shrooms and this and that. Mm-hmm. Like that broad said, that old bitch. And then the weed, the weed. What is it, the weed? Nipping Suds and the weed. Well, that's because Suds was in there on Friday. He probably brought you a big bag.
That's right.
Of food. Food's coming today in about an hour, I bet, from Keg South.
Wait. I'm going to pass
Today's our 2-for-1 deal. As a matter of fact, I'm segueing into the spot right now. Good for you.
Nice.
Were you fudge packing?
Remember when we first met, Mo?
Yeah, them's were the salad tossing days. Like the time you ruined my first show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the premiere of the Mo David Show. 4 delightful hours of entertainment and information to help you get through your busy day. Actually, no, I'm just going to talk about sports here. All right, here's the scores. 7-2, 7-3. How about the Dolphins? Blah, blah, blah.
Hey, what are you doing walking through here in the middle of my show?
I was looking for the NFL concubine.
What are you thinking walking through my show, huh? Noise like this in the background. What the is it with you?
That kind of language is going to get you raped.
Do you know who I am? I'm Mo David. And that's distracting, see? Having someone walk through the middle of my show? Give me a answer.
I don't understand.
What don't you understand?
I just don't know why we need another sports show. I mean, what else can you say? There's only so much to talk about, Oh, and by the way, something. I ate that last piece of pizza pie in the back room there.
Oh, good for you.
Thank you. It was tasty, too.
Was my name on the box?
Yeah, it said right there, Mo's Pizza.
Get out of my studio, bub. All right, let's get this show back on track.
Can I just take a second here?
I'll give you a second. I'll give you 2 seconds. And you better use them to get the hell out of here.
I don't understand why they...
You don't understand what it's like working with professional broadcasters. Is that it?
Well, you call yourself a broadcaster, but you're not really a broad. Ever wonder about that?
Right. Thanks for ruining my show.
I enjoyed it.
Why, you dirty little...
And I still don't like you.
Oh, yeah? Then why you spooning me?
10:32 at 560 WQM. There's a little something for your lunch. Some spooned Mo.
Ooh.
Sounds grotesque.
Only
Speaking of grotesque, so Doug, the fake Doug, says, when my stepson was a little kid, 5 years old, he had a fight with his mother, and when I walked in from work, he punched me in the balls. That was 20 years ago, and my balls still hurt. So, yes, you can be punched in the balls.
Yeah.
Thanks, the fake Doug. P.S. Happy Analversary. Well, what time is Doug's show on?
Really?
He's got some material here. Happy Analversary. That's really cute.
Wasn't there a phase when you and your friends thought it would be funny to smack each other in the nuts?
No.
Like in elementary school or something? I think that's when it was popular.
No.
Wow, you're lucky you.
I mean, I'm not saying that there wasn't a phase that I went through when I didn't want to grab some of my friends' nuts, but that's for different reasons.
No.
What do you mean, no?
There was a time there when kicking, punching, throwing something
in the nuts
at each other's crotches was a funny thing to do.
Well, I'll be damned.
In elementary school.
When you see on America's Funniest marginal videos, they show a lot of that. There's a lot of that nut punching going on.
Yeah.
Major and Rick say cleaning up the home page. Oh, boy. Cleaning up the home page. I'm looking at my fingers, and I think that stuff is helping the Neutrogena.
Good. I love it.
But it does nothing for, like, a fungal infection.
No, but you just might have a bad dry skin.
Dry skin. Really, really dry. Well, why would it be, like, especially in one spot? I don't understand that.
No, me either.
Well, you're the expert.
No, I'm not a dermatologist.
Yeah, you are. You're the dermatology expert.
Yeah,
you're the one giving me a song and a dance.
Yes, I am. That's right. I have a degree.
Song and a dance and punching my pants. Anyway, Rick says, come on, Neil. There's so much old crap there. Get Eric to clean it up and make it more current. Come on, Neil. There's so much old crap. And can I give you an idea of why there's so much old crap on there?
Okay.
I don't care.
Oh.
Guess who taught me not to care?
Me?
Yes.
Excellent.
Well, I mean, no, seriously, the homepage, I put all those damn news stories on there, and even when I was on vacation last week, you'll notice, and you're very welcome, by the way, that I filled the breach and did all the new bedtime stories.
I thank you from the cockles of my heart.
Because I know you hate doing that.
I do. It depresses me.
It's a fair amount of work.
Burns my eyes.
Oh, here's Chuck in Chicago again, who thinks that, what's his name? Thinks that Fatty Arbuckle's a handsome guy. Have either of you seen the documentary called Marijuana Inc.? No, I have not. Maybe George has.
I don't know. I saw it on
CNBC recently. Yeah, I know it's the damn gambling channel, but it was a pretty good look at the business of weed and presented some good arguments why it should be legal. Well, thanks, Chuck in Chicago, so much. That's a big improvement over your idiotic thing yesterday about how that really ugly guy is so hot and your wife got the hots for him. Fred in Boca says, I was in the Palm Beach Kennel Club Friday. During the fourth race, the wife said, the wife. Here's another guy who's got the wife, the kid, the dog.
Right.
The wife said the 7 dog just took a dump bet on him. So I put $50 on him. He led all the way around the track, paid $437.50. Can you beat that? Because the dog took a dump.
What a great system.
See, there's two schools of thought on horses. If the horse takes a dump, like just before it's going in a starting gate,
yeah.
There's the school of thought thinking, now the horse is relaxed. He's not going to run with such a sense of urgency. The other thought is, yeah. I don't know.
Listen.
Yeah.
Is there any denying that you're lighter on your feet after a good Joyce?
Lighter on your feet? Yeah, but if you got to go really bad, you might run like a son of a bitch too, so you can stop. I don't think horses, even with their magical ability, during the course of a race, can like lift their tail and drop a load. I could be wrong. I don't think so.
Everybody always feels better after a good Joyce.
Well, let me go do one now. I don't have to do one now though.
Good.
I could go in there and sit and try and come back around 1:45 and let you know how I made out.
Please.
Jay in Miami says, Neil, it's time to stop referring to Governor Jindal as Bobby Jindal. Yeah, we know. His name is Payush. Say it. Payush Jindal. Payush, say it. He never legally... Who cares? Who cares? He's an idiot. He's a moron. A right-wing lunatic. George Ann says, as I get older, my sack gets longer, and I tend to sit on it more. Man, that hurts. I always listening and love the show. I always listening.
Good. I always like it.
With her painful sack. Barry Jackass says, here we go. Learning more about the new Fox Sports 940 lineup. I'm going to have to do it, Joyce, now. Besides Jim Rome and Dan Patrick from Fox Sports Radio, they'll take Mike and Mike from ESPN before they take Fox Sports Radio AM drive programming, and see Clear Channel will allow it. I got a Joyce bad now. It's your fault.
I know.
I know.
Slipped a laxative in your pudding.
I don't need any laxative. I got to do a normal, natural, and let me check my fingers out and see how they're doing. Well, the little one doesn't itch anymore. I think it's that Neutrogena.
Well, dry
in 2004, Clear Channel owned 790 The Animal, KMBE, ran Mike and ESPN Radio. Oh, my God, this goes on through a lot of convoluted crap that nobody cares about. The programmer on the station in Houston was named Ken Charles. The programmer in charge of WINZ is Ken Charles. I see. Mike and Mike is the ESPN jewel, and they get numbers in most markets. Ken Charles is a long-time cheap channel soldier. Will take Fox Sports Radio, but will get what he wants in the AM, which is Mike and Mike. If they force him to take anything, it'll be Sileo, God help us, because they can play it off as local regional like they do with Schmidt on IOD. Says the fake very jackass. Or maybe the real one. I don't know. Oh, Adam Oshmak, who's gotten less than a life. He owes points on the life scale. Your dry skin may be eczema. Maybe I should get some Noxzema.
For your eczema?
For my eczema. Or I could smear some Noxzema on my
rectum
before I go into a Joyce.
I don't know anything about eczema.
And I know Noxzema smells like crap. It's bad, nasty stuff.
You don't like the smell?
No, Noxzema?
Yeah.
Phooey.
I like it.
Woo. Anyway, Adam had it bad as a kid. The warm climate of South Florida really seemed to help it. Maybe an appearance at Gulfstream is in order. No, it is not. I'm not going to any warm climate. I'm not going anywhere, Adam. Up yours. Fake Larry King says, the Rick Riley Stole My Briefcase song was in my head when I woke up this morning. What does this mean? It means you need serious assistance is what it means. It means time for somebody to clean out the old bag, Larry.
Oh, Neil, God.
I'm Chris Matthews. Welcome to Hardball on MSNBC. I got so much spittle around my food hole I could water the grass. Quite possibly it's from all those years of working for Tip O'Neill. Crazy. The other possible reason my saliva glands are all out of whack may possibly be because I drink scotch from a dog's bowl. Probably from too many years of working for Tip O'Neill being told I wasn't good enough, smart enough, or skinny enough. Plus, I got dillweeds like Bill O'Reilly taking shots at me every night. I'm probably one of the world's greatest minds. If you don't mind wearing a sneeze shield. The reason I don't let people finish their answers is because I can't hear what they're saying. My ears are not even hooked up. The constant swishing of saliva in my mouth sounds like the ocean. The only time I truly feel comfortable is when we take Hardball out on the road on MSNBC. That way I can try to convince co-eds to come back to my hotel room. That is before they realize in order to kiss me and get close to my mouth, they have to be wearing a mask and a snorkel. Many people don't realize John McCain suffered from the same malady, but he had his saliva glands burned closed. Obama didn't. Just one of the many varied and stunning differences we like to point out here on MSNBC. Here's one more important fact you should realize before you go to the voting booth. They have different hair color. I'm Chris Matthews playing Hardball on MSNBC.
7 quick hits during the bonus game on Quick Hit. Wow. 10:44, there's that Bill Bennett, that obnoxious fat D-bag.
Good teacher.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I was thinking that we might never see him again, but I wouldn't bet on it.
Surprise. Oh, I get that. That was a joke.
Bob says, allow me to briefly express some father-to-father man love for George. This is before Rooster Choo-Choo rips you an ass.
Oh.
You're the topic du jour now every day. You're the topic of conversation. You filled in for a week last week, and you've done it a million times. But this particular week seems to have really turned the audience into a bunch of lunatics.
Yeah.
In 2005 or 6, George was discussing an educational website, startfall.com, that his kid used and George recommended.
Starfall.
What did I say?
Startfall.
Starfall.com. That's what I said.
Okay.
Starfall.com. I think that Tutu's right.
Yeah.
He liked it since it progressed in difficulty level as the child developed more advanced reading and computer skills. Well, I got my kid hooked on it, and it's great. Not only that, but I had an occasion to visit our local elementary school, saw that students there are also using this site. Thanks, George. You rock. What's your kid into now?
Sign language and skateboarding.
And drugs. But other than that...
Why would you say such a thing?
Just a joke. Jesus, you're so uptight. That one guy was right the other day.
Yeah,
Whichever one of the 8
That's
million
right.
it was.
Whatever made up crap chronic.
Like, you mean made up like Rooster Choo-Choo?
Yeah, they're all, exactly.
Rooster Cogburn? Right. Subject, go play Tea Party. That's for you later on. Now, let me read the first line, and let's see how illiterate this is. You claim that all I ever do is be critical, and not provide any substantive advice. All I do is be critical? All I be is do critical? I mean, that's illiterate. Well, here it is, Neil. I really like it when you use drops to finish sentences and thoughts. However, the drops are very old and played out. When was the last time you got a drop from a caller? I don't know, because we don't take calls, and I'm very happy about that. I don't apologize for it. I never realized how enjoyable my life could be without taking, I'm your friend, and just sitting here being exasperated for 4 hours every day because of the fact that this company's a bunch of lunkheads. Things that other radio stations, things that other broadcasting companies do without breaking a sweat. This company's like, oh, geez, I don't think we know how to do that. I don't think that's possible, Neil. Yeah. And next time your buddy Joe Bell, by the way, suggests another one of those stupid telephone conference calls, tell him to blow it out his fat, ugly ass. When was the last time you got a drop from a caller? Don't remember either. That was part of the charm of the show. You tear somebody a new ass, then their calls or phrases would become part of the show for a while. You know, that's interesting because I don't think...
I'm dying over here.
Has that got to do with tearing somebody an ass?
No.
Or...
Absolutely correct, sir.
Does that have to do with tearing somebody...
I have no line.
Or that? No, none of them. Or even... I also like the celebrity drops. When's the last time you got one of those? I know callers can be obstruction to a good show, but give your producer something to do. Make him screen the phone calls. Well, guess what? We technically aren't capable of doing that. Am I still right about that or not?
Yes, I don't have the physical means.
He doesn't have the ability to do that, so we don't have anybody who can screen the calls. Mr. Expert Choo-Choo. He can return to his real position on the show, glorified board op. I don't know what he ever has produced for the show. He doesn't book guests. He never fixes any of the technical problems which occur on a regular basis. What does he do? He takes a paycheck every couple of weeks like just about everybody else does.
And I got a few free meals.
And he gets a free meal like today that's coming to Keg South in about 45 minutes, maybe an hour. And he'll enjoy it profusely. So according to Georgie, boy, I'm a fat shut-in, and he's somehow superior to me. I decided to look him up yesterday to find out what he looks like, since he has such a high opinion of himself. Not a pretty picture, Georgie. I mean, you talk about somebody with no life.
No.
That's busy. Look it up on my face or whatever to see what you look like.
Yeah, I am.
You're 40-something and you look like you're 60. Yeah. That's an objective observation, by the way. People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Fat shut-in.
Why would anybody who has the life you do and looks like you be so pedantic?
Is that what he's saying?
What does pedantic have to do with... I don't know. You look like any other middle-aged man who hasn't lived up to his own mind's expectation. If anybody out there has ever been insulted by George, they should look him up on MySpace. You claim to be popular with girls, the girls in your house maybe. Like I said before, go play Tea Party with your daughter and shut up. You're an impediment to the show, says Rooster Choo-Choo, who the other day didn't like the show and doesn't like what I do. He doesn't like anything. Just an idiot trying to be John ZTR and falling way short, by the way. Starting out with an illiterate sentence. You claim that all I ever do is be critical. Do you understand that? You claim that all I ever be is do critical. Well, whatever. Oh, and I forgot to mention ranges. For all the obnoxious New Yorkers and their ranges. Leafs beat them again in overtime, 2-1 last night. The shootout. 2-1. Twice in 3 days. How do you like that, eh? But I don't want to get too hockey intensive, but this is some really bad news. And it bears out what I've said about how sick these people are here with their Maple Leaf hysteria, with their obsession. And this coming from somebody who's been a fan for 50 years, but realized when the team blows and stinks and sucks and just blows chunks. The organization. This is from City News. It says, Leaf ticket price hike angers fans. And guess which team in the National Hockey League is the highest average ticket price anyway?
Do I have to?
Toronto Maple Leafs, $95.33. Panthers are down in the middle somewhere, $65.86. Imagine a business that underperforms to your expectations, disappoints you at almost every turn, leaves you in the lurch year after year, and has a virtual monopoly on the service they provide. Now imagine that they decide to raise their prices despite that dismal track record. By the way, you'll be pleased to know I had a very enjoyable Joyce.
Very good. I was waiting for that report.
Most of us would react to that in an outrage, vowing never to darken their door again. But when you find out the business is the Toronto Maple Leafs, it puts the scenario in a whole new light. I wonder if they're showing on Leafs TV the highlights of last night's win over the Rangers.
Shot to the opening 11.5.
Oh, it's Chris Cuthbert and the obnoxious needs to be killed Pierre Maguire. He needs to be put to sleep. Color commentators on sporting events, man, most of them need to be shot, especially Pierre Maguire first and foremost. Pop, 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 beep, 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 pop, pop, like that. For years, fans have complained that the listless and often lifeless Leafs have failed to put together a winning team, and they look certain to miss the playoffs for the fourth straight year. There's no doubt about that. Many believe that, unlike the baseball movie Field of Dreams, if they don't build it, you'll still come, leaving them no incentive to force any improvements. That's the whole modus operandi here. No matter what kind of swill they put out there on the ice, these suckers will continue paying big bucks and showing up. It's one thing to be loyal, it's another thing to be stupid. That's just one notion for Leaf Nation, but the news that the team is hiking prices 8.6% next year in the middle of an economic turndown has many left feeling angry and confused. And yet you still can't get a ticket in this town. The Leafs have long sported the highest price of admission of any team in the league, with Montreal, Boston, and Rangers coming in second, third, and fourth. It's the only place the Buds have finished first in decades, and not exactly an accomplishment. The Buds. The Leafs claim they didn't make the decision lightly. No time is a good time, admits Chief Operating Officer Tom Anselmi. We gave it a lot of thought, asked a lot of our fans to spend a lot of time thinking about it. And they said, yeah, sure. They'll pay it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, many other NHL teams have already confirmed they're freezing their prices for next season to give fans a badly needed break in the midst of a recession when money is tight. But few are more long-suffering than those in this city. The team is not good, complains fan Susan Davies. They need to deliver on the ice. I wonder if she's akin to Bud Davies, Dead Babies. I'm tired of watching them, Susan says. Not a very good team. But a very big price tag, and then it's got a list of the average ticket prices. Yada, yada, yada. George, I think we lost George.
Oh, I'm right here, man.
St. Louis Blues are last in the league, $37.49 to go see the Blues. You want to go see them? And
sure.
Maybe John Davidson will talk to you. Pop, 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 beep, 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 boop, 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 pop, 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 pop. Pierre Maguire. I'll do it myself. I'll shoot him. That was up 109, by the way. Aren't you excited? That's the Obama bounce. Maria Bartiromo will tell you. Oh, you're so lovely today, Maria. Maria, you look like diarrhea. That's what you look like. And probably smell like, too. She blows. Oish Moy Jew, who has never written anything meaningful, constructive, useful. I'm going to stop reading his crap. He ends this one by saying, still no life. While watching American Cattle last night, I couldn't help but notice the resemblance between Simon Cowell and Man Coulter. They both have the same attitude and roll their eyes like mental patients. Simon is more feminine. I'd like to give Mr. Coulter a good ass-kicking. Says, still have no life. Oi Shmoy Schmendrick. Afzulachas, baby. That's my commentary on you. Afzulachas.
Excellent. Now that we know what it means.
Now that we're positive we don't know what it means. Whatever it means, it's him. Oi Shmoy. 774 votes on the poll. Boy, we got a shot today at something. Happy anniversary, Uncle Neil, says Chuck in Chicago, who won't stop writing, ba, 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 ba. You're like the Pierre Maguire of the internets. Thanks for the many years of entertainment. Centoanni. 100 years. Well, what does that mean, Centoanni?
100 years?
Man, I know what it means, but what's the point?
I don't know.
I agree I may be lighter on my feet after dropping a deuce, but some of the fastest sprints of my life have been from the car to the throne. Could compete with some of the jocks at the combine after a few sorbitol candles. Oh, candies. You ever light up a sorbitol candle?
Just this morning.
Oh. The following is a graphic, intensive presentation. May take a while to load from the fake Tom Jicka. Talker's Hot 100. Oh, it's got the whole list and all the graphics and all the pictures. Aren't you excited?
No.
Davy Gravy Line is on here. Did I just imagine that, or did I don't think I saw that. Yeah, number 98, Davy Gravy Line, the Advanced Radio Network. So you know it's coming from him. Neil Rogers, 89, South Florida Talk Radio Institution, mid-mornings on Sports Outlet. That's all it says. Mid-mornings on Sports Outlet. In other words, do the break.
This is the Neil Rogers Show.
Rock solid.
This is your brain. Any questions?
We all know blondes have more fun. And the blonder you are, the better time you'll have. That's why this station is going to make you as blonde as you can get. Because this station is going to make you an albino. Albino. Pink-eyed and pretty. That's right. We'll leach all the pigment out of your skin with corrosive chemicals. Then we'll bleach your hair and expose you to ultraviolet light until your eyes turn pink and blister. All in the name of summer fun. Be the 10th caller when you hear this sound. And you'll be an albino. Albino.
Station employees and their families are not eligible to become albinos. Johnny and Edgar Witter and other real albinos are also ineligible because this procedure will render them transparent.
Blondes have more fun, but albinos have the most fun of all. Keep listening for your chance to win.
Okay, it's 11:01. Your lunch ought to be there in about a half an hour, thereabouts.
Hope so.
From Keg South. What are they bringing you? Do you have any idea?
I don't know, but I hope.
And when the hell is Steve Sloan going to send me the entries for the race tomorrow for Gulfstream? What's going on in this place, man?
Please.
Talk about schlock.
Listen, stop expecting stuff and you'll never be disappointed.
I'm looking on here. I don't see anything from... I don't even see the thing, whatever you got from Steve Sloan.
No, apparently he didn't send that to you.
Oh, and here's a picture of... Here's a bunch of pictures of Miami. Oh, God, I'm just... It's so breathtaking. You know something? This Chuck guy in Chicago, we're going to send a hitman and find his ass. We're going to call up, what's his name? Blagojevich. From Godfather 2, it was the toast they gave, something like 100 years. Yeah, something like it. Just to wish you have a happy 100. Go away, Chuck. Fredo's drunk girlfriend had to have it explained to her. Let me explain something to you, Chuck. You're chronic to the point of obnoxious. Obnoxious. What did I tell you before about some of these people? If you acknowledge their existence, they think that the show is going to become just a running dialogue between you and them. Back and forth and back and up and down. Pop, 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 like the Pierre Maguire syndrome. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do something constructive, okay? We're in the middle of a friggin' depression. Do something constructive. God almighty, instead of sending me a bunch of stupid crap. I thought his one yesterday with that ugly guy, Jeffrey Donovan or whatever his name was, I thought that was bad. That was pathetic. Oh, my wife has the same taste as you. This is what cracks me up, is that all these listeners, not all of them, but just so many of them, they think that because they listen to a radio show, they know what you're thinking about, what I'm thinking about, what your attitudes are. This is a radio show, for Christ's sakes. That's all it is. This isn't my life. This isn't even little George's life. Thank God. But for some of you who have a problem,
I have no life.
That's it.
It's their lives.
It is your life.
It isn't our lives. It's our job.
And so sending stupid email. I mean, keep the emails coming. Believe me, we need 1,000 of them today. Neil@neilrogers.com. Neil. Got to spell it for him. And you'd think with my big anniversary coming up on Sunday, since I'm not going to be doing a show on Sunday, obviously, you'd think since March 1st is 33 years on the air in South Florida. 33 long, suffering years. Working, for the most part, for a bunch of derelicts, bunch of dinkheads, dorkheads, mung brains. You'd think that maybe we'd be getting something like that, you know? I had one or two. I don't want any wishes from you, Chuck, in Chicago. Just go away. You're annoying. Isn't he annoying?
Oh, yeah.
No, you know what I'm saying. They want the show to be an on-running back-and-forth dialogue, like Rooster Choo-Choo Head, whatever his name is.
Look, you might as well read
Rooster
the message boards out loud and all the forums and all the message boards out loud, because it's the same crap.
Out loud?
Out loud. Oh, where's it? There it is.
See, George is putting down the emails. I like the emails. You do the calls, I'll do the emails.
Fine.
I don't want to do the calls. I'm not
doing
it.
At least you know who you're talking to.
I don't care. At least with the emails, I have more control over it. I don't get exasperated with emails like I do with that stinking phone. I'm your friend. Hi, Ron. Hi, Ron. I mean, if that's what you want to do is hand the show over to a bunch of 4 misfits, that's fine. At least I got about 10 misfits on here. No, you're right. Probably the same 4. Like Chuck in Chicago. How the hell do we know Chuck is in Chicago? Huh?
We don't.
Chuck could say he's in Ypsilanti for all we know. And you know something? As far as I'm concerned, he ought to be. He ought to be in Ishpeming, Michigan. That'd be a perfect place for Chuck. Just on and back and forth and on. And this is a guy who supposedly works for a living. I think homeless. He's probably sitting in one of those computer joints, you know?
Right.
Those internet cafe joints?
At the library, using the free
computer.
At
the library, because obviously you don't have to pay at the library.
Like all the homeless people, that's what they do.
Right. Homeless. And you'll be pleased to know I shaved my head last night. I do not have, at least I don't think I have, a Mark Lindsay ponytail hanging down from the middle of my head. No. I did it all on my own. Now, this is a really bizarre email. It says, was just down there driving up and down A1A and US 1 throughout Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. Just driving up and down the road. Without a doubt, the ugliest stretches of both roads are in Broward. It is mostly beautiful in Dade and Palm Beach. Even the formerly ugly stretches of A1A and Dade are now nice. Also, I was out west in your old area, driving around by the Sawgrass, Bank Atlantic Center, and the new IKEA. It's really quite beautiful out there, although very suburban. You must have had some really bad neighbors to have hated it. No, I don't hate it out there. I don't hate West Broward. I don't hate where my house is. I don't hate where the Sawgrass is. I hate the traffic, but I don't hate it out there. Now, I do have a couple of crazy neighbors, but I don't really pay that much attention to neighbors anyway, so that has little or no influence over my view of South Florida. I'm talking about South Florida as a whole. That's spelled H-O-L-E, whole. But this is a guy, again, trying to do a sell job. Oh, it's so beautiful. Well, great. I'm happy that you're happy. If you're happy, that's all that counts. What do you think about my fungus? And what is eczema anyway? You know, that Adam Oshmak, who sends me another thing here about... I'm going to tear it up. I'm tired of him. He's another one like the guy from Chicago, Chuck. Back and forth and on and on and on and on and never stops. Just a running commentary. So if he had eczema, why doesn't he tell me what you do for it? Do you know what you do for eczema?
I don't know.
It's a skin irritation, that's for sure.
Right.
What do you do for it?
I don't. You go see a dermatologist.
I'm not going to go see a frickin' dermatologist, okay?
Maybe there's one in the audience.
Jesus, you talk about a hypochondriac, my God, for me to go... No, seriously, for me to go see a doctor for something this minor, it's like a little skin irritation.
You asked a question.
Go see a dermatologist. What?
You asked a question about something on your skin that I don't know the answer to.
Yeah.
They're the ones who do know the answers.
Why don't you go see a dermatologist? Why don't you go see a psychiatrist?
Oh, yeah.
Look who you're working for.
I think you need one.
Look who you're working for. You got a 5% pay increase, pay cut after a 3% increase. That sounds like minus to me.
Yeah.
By the way, you'll be pleased to know since I'm not going to Woodbine today, I'm going to sit down and write out all the checks.
All right.
Writing one for Chicken Neck. By the way, it's going regular mail, okay? Putting my 2 stamps on it, and it's going regular mail. I'm not spending $30 to send out a check. Oh, thanks in advance for overnighting. Screw you. God. See, this is the thing that happens with me. Is that everybody I'm associated with in any way, shape, or form, they have this feeling of...
Entitlement?
Entitlement. That's exactly the word I was looking for. Very well done. You redeemed yourself for the eczema. Entitlement. I mean, a fungal infection, does it spread like beyond one place? Or do you have it just... Well, of course. Well, I don't have that.
Especially the more you scratch it, the more it spreads.
Well, it's not spreading.
Not yet.
It's not a fungus. Maybe I just have like that flesh-eating disease. That would be a good way to go. Greg says, I saw a promo for a new reality-type show airing on Animal Planet called Jockeys. Looked interesting. Oh, I see. That's it. George is okay, but he's no Adam Kirshner. He regards Greg. He. I guess Greg got a real chuckle out of it. I didn't.
I'll laugh later. I'm saving
The fake dog in somewhere says, it's funny, up here in Palm Beach, you can hear the Cuban signal better than yours. The DJ sounds like Buffalo Bill. The fake dog, that's it for this month, about the Cuban signal in Palm Beach. Aren't you impressed?
No.
I haven't got any information about what to do about my eczema, or whatever, or my finger rot.
Maybe you should have it cut off.
Oh, Alice Reintel. I forgot at the end of the show yesterday, I had one. I am wounded by your hurtful comments, said the fake Alice Reintel. Olive Garden soup. I had the chicken and gnocchi soup made with roasted chicken, traditional Italian dumplings, and spinach. It was great. Well, I'm glad. That's a good place for you, Alice. You never were a real Italian anyway. You were always a Guido. And here's this Tom Jicka thing again. Or other notable... this is that list. Randi Rhodes ahead of Neil Rogers in Talkers Magazine rankings posted by Tom Jicka. This is the same thing we had the other day. We already had this about, 100 times?
Yeah.
From the fake or make-believe Tom Jicka? I have no idea, and I could care less. Talkers Magazine. Oh, I'm wounded, man. And here's a graphic of extensive presentation and all the names and all the crap. I wonder how come Greg Budel's not on there. And you want to know why?
Why?
Because they hate him. The whole world hates Greg Budel. Like poison. Now, you licking your chops getting ready for the great lunch today from Keg South?
I am so holishing, as they say in Ireland.
Why?
I just woke up really hungry today.
I think you sound like you're Afzalachas. And I really have no idea why this spot is in this position. Well, I do have an idea. Yeah. It's because we don't have a traffic department, because everything at QM is ass upside down.
Automated now.
Automated. Pretty soon Neil's going to be automated.
Might as well be.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have you record, hopefully better quality than that spot. Have you record like words, Hello, goodbye, hey, what's up, see ya,
good idea.
Screw you.
We'll feed them into the computer
Your mama.
and play them randomly.
Right, that's right.
Sounds from Neil's mouth.
I'll make sounds with my mouth and get paid for it, and I can be out of Woodbine plunging my guts out, losing my ass on those horrible new Wheel of Fortune. You people at Woodbine ought to be in prison for what you've done to us. The crap that they put in there, imitation Erzatz Wheel of Fortune after all these years. And the reason being that I guess they were paying out too much money. They don't want you to win it. Why don't they just put a big sign up there when you walk in the door? We want you to lose your ass. We want your money. Just give us the effing money. I thought maybe you faxed me something, but it's an ad. Lead prospecting. Generate new leads daily with outbound lead-generating campaigns, just pennies per call. And here's a Ontario number. Probably the number for Adam Oshmak's house. Oh, yeah. You're right. There's like 4 people. It's the same Chuck from Chicago, Adam Oshmuck. It's all the same misfits who have nothing else going on. This is their hobby. Keep them coming, though. Neil at neilrogers.com. Everybody except Chuck in Chicago. I will not read any more emails from you. You really bug me. I can't stand people who are just way over the top, like Pierre McGuire. Nobody wants to hear you, Pierre. You add nothing. You have nothing to say. Like that. Like Denise Potvin on acid. Denise Potvin squared.
Spaghetti sucks, okay?
Absolutely. Yes. Uh-huh.
Down to the strip joint, Pat said no. You stick $1 in the gutter of a tattooed hoe. He said, honey, got money for you. But when you take me back into the private room for a job.
So I forgot to mention that right at the end of the show yesterday, Alice Rantel, I am wounded by your hurtful comments. Well, good. That's what they're intended for. Go away. Get lost. Go get a hobby. Go find a new boyfriend. Do something. Steve from Louisville says, Afzulachas means spitefully. Literally, just to get somebody angry. You with me?
Yeah, I'm right here, but that's not what that other guy said, and I believe him.
Well, I know. I'll get to his, too. Just relax. We got a 4-hour freaking show here, for crying out loud.
Read everything twice, then.
Okay, Steve Friedman says, Aftulachas means spitefully, just to get somebody angry. But Steve, in Dublin, California, says, from a dictionary of Yiddish slangs and idioms, Aftulachas, in spite of everything you do, it still comes out wrong. He says, a very kind old Jewish man, long now dead, gave me this book back in the early 90s when you were debating the precise meaning of sei gesund. Started listening on your first day on Zeta, now listen on the Internet from California. Yes, the show has changed over the years, but it's still great to listen to when you're behind the mic. Unbelievable, says Steve.
Unbelievable.
A gesund auf dein Kopf, says. Isn't that nice?
Wow.
A gesund auf dein Kopf. Means literally your head should be healthy.
Excellent.
Nothing like healthy head. My skin is peeling.
Okay. Not necessarily
not
a bad
it's just
thing.
peeling. What?
Not necessarily a bad thing.
Why is it a good thing? Is it a good thing if your skin is peeling?
Well, if...
How can that be a good thing?
Because you might have some fresh new skin under there, and you're just getting rid of some.
And what about if I have nothing but old, smarmy skin under there?
Oh, then you're off.
When you get to be my age, you don't have fresh, new anything.
Really?
No, you've got old, slimy, smarmy mum. Josh Corda says, probably the real one, Neil, you don't need to overnight my check. Regular mail is fine. Hugs and snuggles, Josh. I believe that's him.
Okay.
You don't?
Sounds like him.
You don't believe anybody. It would be a first if you said yes.
Maybe.
No.
Guess who sent me another thing about eczema? Well, that's because I asked, I guess.
I don't know. Hopefully
Adam
so.
Oshmuck.
Oh, maybe he's a dermatologist.
Maybe he's a lifeless idiot. Maybe he's a lifeless fairy who sits around the house listening to the show on the Internet all day, squeezing himself. He says, go and get yourself some Glysomed hand cream. Did you ever hear that?
No.
Never heard of it. It's the one in the green tube.
Oh, that one. No, never heard of it.
Never heard of it. It'll heal you right up. You could go to a dermatologist, but the stuff they give you often isn't as good as the stuff you can buy right at a Shoppers Drug Mart. Well, I'm going to go to Shoppers Drug Mart as soon as the show is over, as soon as I finish mailing those checks. You know, there's checks that I'm not overnighting?
Yes.
Those are the ones. Thanks in advance for overnighting. No, just relax. Just sit there. It makes more excitement in your life. Wait for the mailman to show up every day. Oh, you got anything for me? Anything for me, please? Remember in Godfather 3?
Yeah.
And Joey Zaza was there. He said, nothing for you. Nothing for you. Oh, jeez. Brandon says, and the one thing about Brandon, he also is like all over the place here, but at least he always has something to say relevant to whatever we're talking about.
Right.
He has something to contribute, as opposed to Chuck from Chicago who gives me spilkies. All I got to do is see another one of his emails, and I want to just vomit.
Brandon's always relevant.
He's always got relatives. Subject, fingers. About 8 years ago, I had something very similar with two of my fingers. The skin just dried up and got really nasty and gross. I wouldn't say my skin is nasty and gross yet. It was so bad my fingers were peeling and bleeding. I went to the doctor, had to take a cream with steroids in it to clear it up. Wow. Anything for me? No, nothing for you. With you, I suggest keeping your hands well lubed with some good hand cream. If it gets worse, you might have to have it checked out because it can spread fast like it did with mine. It started out with 2 fingers, ended up with 4, always wrapped up in gauze. Oh, wrapped up in gauze. That sounds nauseating, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, the fake Greg Budell is back again. Frank and Larry Mervis say hi. I guess he always feels he's going to impress me with that. Remember Larry Mervis? Don't get nervous, call Larry Mervis, the insurance guy from 100 years ago. Talk about living in the distant past, fake Greg Budell. Tom Jick has already contacted me about the WQAM rumors. Get real, they hate you more. No, that nobody hates anybody more than they hate you, Greg. They despise you like poison. I believe this is the real Greg Budell. Gregory Benjamin Budell. I believe it's him. He's enough of a nudnik, enough of a broadcast loser that he would be sitting around all day farting around on the emails here. And, of course, always obsessed with yours truly.
Oh, God.
Obsessed. Doesn't that disturb you when people are like stalkers, you know? Obsessed.
Oh, it's flattering. It's a compliment.
Huh? What?
Listen, if you don't want to have obsessed stalkers following you around, don't get into show business.
This is show business?
Show is.
Could have fooled me. Gay Ted says, what is the point of George? Oh, I'll print this one out, use it after the break. The George bashing continues. I would have thought with my anniversary coming up this weekend that they'd have been more interested in that, but no, they're only interested in bashing you. Steve Friedman has got a thing on here. Why does he come back here again with this? Or is this a different Steve? We got more Jewish Steves going on. Oh, here's the whole thing. A Ganze Megillah. Yiddish. Now, where the hell am I going to find Afzulachas? Is it under AUF?
Good luck.
No, I'll find it if it's on here. And you know what? It's not. As a Yoraf Mir. I should have such good luck. As a Yoraf Mir. Well, this is great, but I mean, I don't want the whole Yiddish language. You just want to find out what Afzulachas was. Here's Brian, who says, listening on the net, first started way back when you were on Zeta, and we were in Florida on holidays. Whatever happened to the bird? Long life, Brian. Well, he didn't have a long life. He's still dead. Sorry.
Hey, enough with the Panthers already. When the hell does the baseball season begin anyway, huh?
Hi, I'm Ewell Gibbons. You may have wondered what kind of sausage is floating in the pink juice jar at the Mini-Mart. Well, they're a byproduct of transgender reassignment surgery. Quite tasty. And good for you. Ever seen nuts hanging on the back of a truck? What you don't know is truck nuts are also a byproduct of transgender reassignment surgery.
You're sure you want to do this?
Yes, Mommy. Yeah, I want to look more like a woman.
Okay, hold still. What do you want to do with these?
Oh, just hanging on the back of a truck or something.
Adorn your pickup truck with dangling manhood by dangling someone else's. Available in brass, chrome, and blue anodized. Make your truck use less gas by showing your ass with T-Nuts.
Wow, I just got the entries. Now, why did Steve Sloan send me the entries for the first 2 races tomorrow? You might want to beat him over the head with a meat cleaver and ask him that on the way by.
Both of them? I mean, like the first and second?
Let me say it again. The first and the second race. Why do I need the racing form for the first race?
Just for practice.
Is this also the new thing that nobody has told me about? Is that we're going to practice and handicap the first race? I beg your pardon?
Maybe it was a mistake.
No, it was not a mistake. He said I'm including the crap for the first and the second races tomorrow. And here it is. I have only one simple question about this.
Why?
That's all. I mean, not that it's a big deal. I mean, it took 3 pages of... And the second race, the one that we have to pick, I have to pick, it's an 11-horse field. 7.5 furlongs, $16,000 claiming. 3-year-olds which have never won 2 races. Oh, my God. But nevertheless. Oh, Mr. Dr. Professor on the outside with the Kentis Ormo. Looking like a possibility, dropping back down where he belongs. What do you think?
Sounds great.
Oh, I'm not picking him now. I haven't even hardly looked at this yet. 11 horses to pick from. And on top of it, he sends me the first race also for some bizarre unknown reason. I thought you said he was a good guy.
Steve?
Steve Sloan.
He is a good guy, a great guy.
I think you're in cahoots.
That's right. We're cahooting right now.
I think it's all part of a plan. We better get these emails cranking, I'll tell you that. Neil at neilrogers.com. Oh, here's Greg Budell back again. You've been hocking a Chinik about me for 30 years. Hocking a Chinik. Now he's doing Yiddish. By the way, Rick Shaw still hates you for calling him a Nazi. Yeah, that's why he came out and consorted with us at Gulfstream that day. That's why he took time out of his life to come hang with us and schmooze around with us at Gulfstream that day. Do you still play that Bobby Darin talk up? Well, what does that mean, Bobby Darin talk? I have no idea what you're talking about. Get a life, Greg. Go elope with noodles. Oh, this is good. Here is some useful stuff from Christy. Leave it to some lady. How you doing with the ladies? Who was Joe Rose again hocking about with the ladies this morning? Oh, God, he's just... And then that Storm Cat. Hey, Storm, what do you think, Storm? I mean, well, what is that show turning into? Like a show for morons or what? Steve says, I sent you the info for the first race because when you're there, you usually pick that race too. Thanks, Neil. You're the best, says Steve Sloan. Oh, yeah. Ho, ho, ho. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, IHOP is doing it. Well, I don't care about IHOP, okay? We got a fine sponsor on there, the original Pancake House. I'm not getting suckered into doing any more crap
free plugs.
For IHOP. I can't stand IHOP in the first place. Or are they one of our fine sponsors? No, the original Pancake House is, which we love. And not just because they're a sponsor, because they got good food, as opposed to IHOP. Here's one from Larry King. What do you think of having a WIOD reunion show on Monday? Scott Chapin can do a remake of the great WIOD song. I think it's a stupid-ass idea, fake Larry King. Get a life. Oh, now I'm getting all these things about skin rashes. This is great. This is good. Oh, now here's one. It says, this one can scare the crap out of you or help you. The location, appearance, and color of a rash will... It's not a rash. Look for suggestions on this chart for common rashes and other skin conditions. It says if you have, like, roughness between the fingers, it means you've got, like, berry. Remember that movie, All Fall Down? You never did see it, did you?
Never did.
Oh, you'd like that. Who's the... Eva Marie Saint, I think, is in there. She's the one that Berry and Brandon DeWilde had their eyes on. I saw her first, Berry. I saw her first. Which is a real interesting way of looking at life, I guess. I saw her first, therefore. And, of course, based on what we hear about Warren Beatty. Oh, click on the above link for something. No, thanks. Thanks, Rudy. Go away. Click on the above link. No way. Let me ask it for the 8 millionth time. What part of that don't they get?
The don't part.
Oh, don't do it.
Right. They hear do it.
Okay, let's see what we got. Joe says, about Italy. After years of hearing you talk about your time in Italy, I finally got my chance to go with my wife, and I loved every minute of it. The problem is that it was expensive as hell. My wife likes to stay in high-priced places and go shopping. So what I would like from you, if possible, is a free plug for my company. Oh, yeah, so I can pay some of the bills this month. Get out of here. He went to Italy, and it cost him an arm and a leg, and his wife shopped. I'll tell you what, when you want to pay for what Paco bought in Italy last summer, then we'll make a deal. My God, he discovered every one of those Hoochie Coochie Gucci, every one of those stores, Johnny Versace. What are the other ones?
You're asking me?
I'm asking a schlepper like you. Well, whatever, he found them all. Spent a fortune. Not a small fortune,
I shop at
a large
Goodwill,
fortune.
thank you very much.
Christy says, this is how you can tell if you have a skin rash or a fungus. Pick some of the flaky skin off your head onto some colored paper. Off my head? Well, what does that mean? I don't have flaky skin on my head.
Well, I thought if you dig hard enough, maybe you will.
Well, let me try it.
Trying to scrape some scalp.
No, I don't have. I just shaved my head last night, and I showered and shampooed this morning. I don't have any flaky skin on my head. Try to get enough to make a small pile. Then you have to smell it.
Oh, my God.
If it doesn't have an odor, then it is eczema or something like that. If it really stinks, then you have a fungus. So let me smell my fingers.
Well, they probably smell like skin cream at this point, I'd imagine.
They smell like Neutrogena. If the smell is kind of like the goop you scoop from under your nails, it's not too bad. The odor is kind of putrid. You may have the bacteria kind that may require an antibiotic treatment. Hope this helps, says Christy. Yeah, it helps make me nauseous, just when George is about to get lunch. Wouldn't you think I would know if my skin stank? My fingers are... I mean, one thing, I may look like crap, but at least my hygiene is, pretty bad. Well, let me look at it. I think that Neutrogena is doing something. I don't know. I've had it for like 2 weeks. It just doesn't go away. And it's okay. It's not a big deal, except when it starts itching, that part on the little finger.
Okay.
Oh, right. Man. Take a mosquito bite and multiply that sensation times about 50,000, then you get an idea of what that... And then, of course, being humans, as we are, being weak, we scratch it.
We rake it right
Oh, and that makes it so much worse. I mean, it feels so good to scratch it because I don't know why. Why does it feel good to scratch it?
Because it itches, and that relieves it temporarily.
No, does it? It also rips the skin right off your finger.
Rips the skin and causes it to spread and makes it worse.
Oh, jeez. Well, it hasn't spread, though.
I mean, they always tell you, if you get something in your eye, don't rub it. Well, how can you not? And if you have
rub
something on your skin,
rub it with
don't
the back
scratch
of your
it.
knuckle.
Yeah, easy to say.
Paul in the Q says, I have a pustular dermatitis that I get at the base of my fingers occasionally. Pustular dermatitis, that sounds disgusting.
That sounds really...
That's even worse than what Christy was saying there about smell it. Dig in your head and then put a pile, make a pile of it and smell it.
Try not to inhale the flakes while
How
you
about
do it.
digging in your rectum and making a pile of that and smelling it? How's that? Talk about pustular dermatitis. The topical steroid the other emailer referred to might be triamcinolone aceto. I can't read it. Acetone, something. You should get a prescription and keep it around in case of a breakout. Charlie Simmer flames color as the Jew Lieberman of hockey announcers. Happy 33rd, you turd, says Paul McHughes. I never heard of a Charlie Simmer, and that's because I don't watch the Flames.
Flaming.
Could care less about the Calgary Flames. Here's that thing from Ted. What's the point of George? But we better do the break first.
Greg hates you.
Till noon at 560 WQM. We got the big coming up at 2 o'clock. People are lined up all the way to Homestead protesting, but we're still going to... What? Yes.
I'm not going to believe this. Guess who George Corso just brought through here? Talk about a blast from the past. No, but very close. You speak
Steve
of him,
Ziegler.
You've spoken of him before. No, Paxson days. Think Paxson.
Oh, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Not that.
Not Roy Pressman.
Oh, somebody else?
Yeah, somebody who you love to rip. Love to quote.
Engineer?
Yes.
I have no idea.
Max.
Oh, no. He loves to schmooze. He loves to...
That's him. That's the one.
Oh, no.
He wanted me to say hi. Wanted to make sure that I would, and so I did.
I like to schmooze. I like to cruise. I like to booze. I don't like to do any work, but I sure like to screw around.
Yeah,
Max.
What a great system if you can pull it off.
Yeah, well, we sure learned.
He shaved his mustache.
We learned the hard way when we started mailing it in, the easy way. I'm mailing it in today, I'll tell you that. I'm taking it real slow. In fact, from here till 2, I'm doing one word at a time.
You're going to coast?
I'm going to coast on in. By the way, it is the real Greg Budell. I'm convinced myself of that. He's just obsessed. Obsessed. Now, I guess we could find out what time his show on over there in Montgomery, Alabama, or wherever the hell he is in some podunk town.
I guess he'll tell you.
I'm sure he will. Or I could Google it, if I could stand looking at that silly mustache again. Maybe the Pope can come back. This is a different Pope now. Maybe he can give the Pope his guided tour. Remember when the previous Pope came to town? And he was there to introduce him and to fondle his genitals and do all that good stuff?
Yes.
Even the Pope hated you too, Greg. He told me. Getting back to Randi Rhodes and the mystery of what happened with the goddess.
Howard!
And you people that send me the fake Tom Jicka stuff, Tom and I have a code word, and I know when it's the real Tom, believe me, and this one ain't his. But anyway, that's got nothing to do with this. I Wikipedia'd this. Randi Rhodes' last show on Nova M before an abrupt break was February 3rd, 2009. Political commentator and one-time congressional candidate Nancy Skinner hosted the show in Rhodes' absence beginning February 5. Following this, Anita Drobny of Nova M Radio posted a message on the Nova M site saying they were unable to disclose details of what was going on due to Rhodes having complete control of the show, and that Rhodes now has to make her decisions as to what she must do with her career. Mrs. Drobny has also said, people are saying it's about money. It's not about money at all. I just could not fulfill one of her requirements. Oh, I wonder which one that was. Oh, woo! So what's that idiot Max doing in there?
visiting. I asked if he was going to be coming to work here, and both he and George laughed at me. So
you should have laughed at him. She did, however, note the financial impact of Rhodes' departure. I looked at our site, and I could see that because Randy Rhodes isn't on there are so many people leaving the Founders Club, which involves a fee paid to Nova M. And you can't operate without people's participation. Additionally, Rhodes' own website was taken down and replaced with a letter from Rhodes to supporters stating that the entire situation is within Nova M's control. Any implication that Rhodes is responsible for the disruption is false, and that Rhodes will be seeking a new home in light of the recent developments. Well, she's got more problems staying in one place. Doesn't she?
Seems to.
She don't even stay in... According to an individual familiar with the issue, Nova M agreed to provide certain standard legal protection for the popular radio host, but Rhodes had to leave the air and Nova M following a discovery that Nova had not lived up to its contractual promise. Can you imagine a radio company not living up to their contractual promise? I can't even begin to believe that. Subsequently, on February 19, 2009, Nova M Radio announced they'd be filing for bankruptcy liquidation. No such filing has yet occurred. Oh, that's not a good sign. Wow. XM satellite radio airs content syndicated by On Second Thought, including Skinner, who's broadcast live on American Left Channel. Wow. Nova M says they're going to be filing for bankruptcy. Wow, 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 wow. Doesn't sound too promising, does it?
Nope.
This is the business we have chosen, Michael. I said to myself, this is the business we have chosen. I said, Afzulachas. I wonder if Hyman Roth were still around. Now, actually, in the end there, he got shot and killed. We never actually saw him die, but we saw the bodyguard. We saw the assassin. Rocco, wasn't that Rocco? That went off to shoot Hyman Roth at the airport?
Right.
If there's one thing that's certain, Tom, you can kill anybody. Right, Rocco?
Right.
And there sits poor Tom Hagen, frustrated again at the bloodlust of his Sicilian brother, Miguel. Ted says, what's the point of George? Oh, I've been threatening to get to this, but I want to scratch my head and scrape off a whole bunch of stuff and then smell it.
Oh, geez.
It smells like shampoo to me.
Well, it smells like good food in here now.
Well, you got your food now from Keg South? Great, I'm glad you mentioned that because there's no spot coming up in this next break. They screwed it up again. But at least we had one this hour. That was good. At least we had two today during the show, unlike 1 week, I think 2 weeks ago. What was last week? I was on vacation. Oh, let me, this afternoon also, besides sending out those checks, let me also make up a vacation schedule for the rest of the year. Starting, I think now sounds good. Well, isn't this what Duff and everybody is begging about?
They would like to know, yes.
What do you mean they? Duff and Steve Sloan and Flea, and that's it. There's nobody else in that sales department even knows we're on the air.
Maybe
you kidding
Barney?
Me? Barney Miller?
Barney Miller.
Gay Ted says, what is the point of George? He doesn't add anything knowledgeable or informative to the show. I don't understand what the point of having him on the show is. Because he needs to make a living, Ted. That's what he's on the show for, just like me. Machst Leben. Afzulachas. It seems that he's a very angry person who dislikes everything except what he thinks is good. Well, that's all of us are like that. Don't we dislike everything that we like except what we like?
I even dislike some of the stuff that I do like. How's that?
Right. I believe it's because he feels that he's wasting his life making a horrible salary while having to work for Joe Bell. Well, I think you got it, Gay Ted. Having to work for Joe Bell is a fate worse than death. It's worse than being in hell working for Joe Bell. The silly appearances at computer stores and racetracks don't help either. His home life is miserable as well. Well, that we know. George, I'm sure that your wife and daughters appreciate your hard work and constant pot smoking. You're a real role model for them. Why don't you just move up to the mountains of North Carolina or Montana and do everyone a favor? Thanks, Ted. Thanks. Well, guess what? Screw you, Ted. George ain't going anywhere until we're good and ready. Good and plenty. You ever eat Good and Plenty? I'm sure you have.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
That's horrible.
I love it. It's licorice. You don't like licorice.
Oh, I don't know. I don't mind licorice, but I don't like Good and Plenty. I don't like the candy on the outside.
I like it all.
Purple and, ooh.
Pink.
Yeah, purple and pink. It sounds really...
Gay.
Yeah, like that. I'm not hitting the right buttons because I've got this mountain of discs sitting here.
Discs? Is that what you said?
Discs.
Okay.
Hascom disc, ACN disc, BB discs. So Greg Budell is back again, which I'm going to block him pretty soon because it's getting really, really tired of him. He's another one, wants to do just a whole rap between... You know, why don't you give him my phone number and he can call up and we can chat away all afternoon? Not.
By the way, the real way to block some of those people is forward that email to Eric and say, block that guy, and it blocks them at the IP
I don't need
address.
to do that. I just block them on my regular thing, and unless I want to check the deleted ones, which I don't. I mean, I see that they're there, which I find somewhat amusing or pathetic, but I don't read them. I got several people fall in that category, and he'll be the next one. Rick Shaw talking up Dream Lover by Bobby Darin. You used to place this all the time when Ricky and I were at Waxy. He hated it. Wow. This is the kind of stuff that sticks in the mind. This is the kind of groupie that we got. Obsessive behavior, obnoxious and obsessive. No wonder the world hated you like poison, Greg Budell. In addition to which, nobody knows who the hell you are. Here's one from Paul, who just moved down, and I'm going to use this after the break, after we sell our certificates and do our thing.
All right.
Just moved down to Fort Lauderdale from Michigan to do his job. Found the show and love it. Also thinks George is great.
Wow.
And thinks he did a great job when he filled in for you. But then he goes on about who are some of these people. He hears us talking about, like, who the hell is Greg Budell? Yeah. Even people who didn't just move down from Michigan, even if people who lived in South Florida all their lives are wondering, who the hell is Greg Budell and who the hell could care?
This is Mark Morgan. It's the 12 to 1 hour on QAM.
It's a good time for the great taste. Neil, this is Noodles, reminding you that it's always a good time for the great taste.
Jumped in the taxi cab, I said, driver, Central Park. He looked at me so quizzically, I could tell he was in the dark. So I acted out my park charade, and with my arms the trees I made. Nobody speaks English anymore. I went down to Miami Beach where the weather is nice and sunny. I walked into a liquor store, but the guy there talks real funny. I asked him for a pint of old Jim Beam. He says, no entiendo. What does that mean? Nobody speaks English anymore. At the corner deli. Hell, I think I'm in Pakistan. Speak English, smelly. Or you can go back to Iran. I came here many years ago. Learned my ABCs. I don't say muchas gracias. I say pretty please. So get yourself to a classroom quick. You're in America now. Stop making me sick. Nobody speaks English anymore.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. 12:01 at 560 WQAM. We only got 2 hours to go. Less a minute, George. Woo! We're mailing it in on a Thursday, and boy, Monday marks 33 years of mailing it in.
Just warning everybody now I'm going to be talking with my mouth full for a while, all right?
Oh, so what do you got? Oh, and I forgot all about checking the thing out. What?
I got everything. I got some steak tips. I got some 2 kinds of wings. I got a steak wrap, tuna steak wrap. And what's this crazy steak you're making me eat over here?
This is the 22-ounce bone-in ribeye.
22-ounce bone-in ribeye that I carved a chunk up.
All right.
And I got a studio full of all these really hot, beautiful women and Josh Cordes.
Oh, Josh ain't in there for the women.
He saw these chicks walking down the hall, and he just followed them in. He just didn't know where they were going.
We got 84 certificates left. We started with 100 for Keg South of Kendall. We got 84. I'll check that out while you're eating.
All right.
And we still have 84, by the way. What the hell's that all about? Why is there still 84?
I don't know.
Well, I'll keep checking on it for you. It'll be give me something to do while you're eating. So what the hell's Josh Cordes doing in there besides eating the free food?
That's it, eating the free food. You know, now that you're not going to be sending him those checks anymore, he needs to make the most of these free lunches.
I guess this meal is in lieu of that last check. Isn't that the way this works?
It's going to be like his last meal.
In lieu of the last check.
Right.
Right, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, good.
Yeah. Shout out.
Okay, like I said, only got 1 check to make out. Michael says George is an excellent fill-in host, and I would definitely enjoy a George and Flea show from 2 to 4. He, too, has introduced me to some cool things, including the old Billabong pub and the Wacky Weed. So continued success to Georgie, and have a great time with my pal Lisa at MS Walk this Sunday.
Thank you.
Well, what does that mean?
What part? The MS Walk this Sunday?
Yeah, the MS.
MS stands for multiple sclerosis.
Right.
And I'm going on a charity walk.
I know that.
I'm helping to raise money for MS because Lisa asked me to, and I said yes.
Well, good for you. See that, George? He's got a heart of gold, man.
Just ask me.
Got an old heart of gold like Neil Young. And Neil God. What's his name? An old heart of gold, but nevertheless. Still 84 certificates there on Keg South of Kendall. I think that must be a mistake. We got 150s for $25, and there's still 84 left?
They've been there 20 years, so it's not this new restaurant excuse business.
No. And you got your food and your booze, and I mean, what's not to like?
No, sir.
And George is just, what are you eating, the steak now?
The steak, tuna steak wrap right now, but I got two kinds of steak on my plate. I'm actually literally eating with both hands. I got food in each hand.
You got food in your what?
Rectum.
Wow. Anyway, still 84 left on there, so I'll check on periodically, but evidently these aren't the ones that are going to go like grease lightning. Don't ask me why.
I don't know.
Michael says, this is the same Michael that just, see, this is what these people do. Not that this is a problem. A couple of emails is fine. But he sent the one before, it's just, I don't know. I think reading the comics was a better idea. I think that's better than these emails. Remember we were talking about that the other day, reading the comic books?
Read the phone book.
Reading the funny pages like Al Martino's
Or even
Kid.
the not-so-funny pages would be better.
Like these? Michael says, the purpose of this note is to thank you for two of the best purchases I've ever made. One, Dreamfield's pasta, a great-tasting pasta line with a fraction of the carbs. This pasta is full-flavored goodness that doesn't make me feel guilty or bloated with every generous serving. Boy, don't you love the way he wrote that? He could write copy for us.
Yep.
If we had somebody who wrote copy, which we don't. Two, the New Wave oven. I thought it was called the Flavor Wave. Well, I think they changed the name of it.
We use it 3 times a week.
Me too. This is the best piece of culinary equipment to come about since the invention of the microwave, if not better. Neil, since acquiring this product in October, my family has used this at least 4 times a week. We've cooked succulent filet mignons, fall-off-the-bone pork ribs, different varieties of fish, whole chickens, even our first Thanksgiving turkey, which produced the juiciest white meat ever.
Bacon, I'm telling you.
There's nothing like that juicy white meat. I beg your pardon?
Nothing makes bacon like the Flavor Waver oven.
So thank you, sir, for the great years of great entertaining radio. Please keep your product reviews coming because your fans are listening, says Michael. My fans aren't exactly jumping on those certificates today for whatever reason, but then again, you encountered similar difficulties last week, didn't you?
Also for no good reason.
Yeah, we still got 84. We still have 84 out of the 100 left.
Maybe there's an issue. Maybe they're stuck or something.
Maybe there's an issue?
Wouldn't be the first time.
This is a very, very good email. Maybe the best one in the history of the subhuman race. You want to hear it?
Please, I'm begging.
Ever notice how every station Greg Budell has been on is now dead? Love 94, the Sabo-era WIOD, WJNA. He leaves a trail of catastrophe and used needles in his wake, always.
Oh, my God.
Quit worrying about others' careers and take care of your back problems, Greg. You'll soon be sipping cheap beers with Johnny Dark on the beach. Sent by Anonymous. How do you like that?
Wow.
Hey, Neil, there's great burgers right by George's house off Hollywood Park and A1A at Lake Tub, says Macho Lindo. Well, we're doing Keg South today, okay? Right. So quit trying to get... Oh, here you go, Johnny Dark. Why do you keep disparaging Glenn? He added a lot to your show and was a lot better on the air than George. Greg is a nice guy and a good talent. Why do you dislike him? You hate everyone. Happy anniversary, you malcontent. That's the real Johnny Dark. Thanks, Johnny. Up yours. We have kind of a love-hate relationship. I love, he hates. Or is it the other way around? Oh, Taker Park is back in. Remember her from yesterday? Mm-hmm. Taker Park as in Taker Crap? How's the food, by the way?
Great.
And what do you got beside the steak? What else do you what accoutrements have you got?
2 kinds of steak. There's steak tips and some wings and...
Oh, you got those steak tips?
Yes.
Sounds delish. And what am I doing for lunch?
Keg bites, they're called. What?
What am I doing for lunch? Nothing.
I'm sure you'll eat something bad later.
No, I'm sure. I better not. I think this is diabetes related. Do you think that could be? I know skin problems are sometimes diabetes related.
Let's pretend
Maybe
that it is.
Maybe the circulation in my hand is going. You think that's possible?
Maybe.
Oh, this is the hand I tap the machine with. Yeah, I tap it. Cha-ching, cha-ching. What they did to Wheel of Fortune at Woodbine, there's going to be a revolution there. You'll see. I'm going to lead the way. They've taken away a lawsuit. Anyway, Taker, whose real name is Sarah, says, I'm sorry for sending you that stupid email yesterday regarding L.A. radio. I'll try not to do it again. Yeah, nobody here cares about L.A. radio, Sarah, Taker, or whatever your name is. Have you ever heard of a horse by the name of Lady Kate? No. Who used to race at the 40 track? No. It was the first horse I ever bet on and won enough to pay the toll back in the U.S. Have a nice day. Taker, my real name is Sarah. Wasn't that a tremendous story?
You're such a mean man.
That's why I'm here.
You hate everybody.
Dick says, I've been listening to you for many years. Way back when Steve Kane pretended to be, he was interesting, and Taffy McCallum put the world to sleep. Neil, you were and still are the best thing on the radio, and thank God I can still listen to you via your live stream. I got the hell out of South Florida a few years ago. A few years too late, but at least that sewer of a city is behind me. Put a microphone in your casket when you go, and you'll still have better ratings than the rest of those duds, and Joyce can milk you for eternity. Keep it up and have fun, says Dick. Thanks, Dick. How do you like that? Dick says, keep it up.
Very nice. Do it. Keep it up.
Larry says, Dear Neil, I heard this Liberace sound-alike state the only thing that you weren't head-to-head... Oh, that's... What is it? The only time you went head-to-head with Steve Kane, he beat you in the ratings. Oh, yeah, right. He never beat anybody in the ratings.
No.
Is this possible? He also claimed that you offered to hire him many years ago and would then double his salary, but he wanted to remain loyal to Kane. Is this possible? No. Maybe I wanted to hire Brian for some personal services, but I sure as hell didn't want to hire him to put him on the air. I'm going to sneeze. Bless my Brian Craig allergy. He continually claims that he's a proud conservative Republican, husband, father, and family man. He also what do I care about him? Goes on and on and on about this and that. Oh, we don't care about Brian Craig, like you say, about the Mr. Ego crowd.
Right.
We don't care about them. Oh, here's one that says, why don't you take some calls? I have one response to that.
No.
Short,
no,
quick,
no,
to the point, no chance.
Oh, God.
For the record, have you ever used steroids, human growth hormone, or any other performance-enhancing substance?
No. When I'm asked by the press, hey, A-Rod, why are you a cheating slob like Barry Bonds? I just coyly respond that I was young and dumb. I was young and stupid and dumb. The right sports agent and publicist can make a millionaire out of a dumbass kid. All you got to do is cheat if you're young and dumb. Young and stupid. Young and dumb. I was young and dumb, but what's more important is that I can't let Madonna find out I'm hung like a gnat. No, I was young and dumb. Young and dumb. All you boys and girls who want to be playing one day in the major leagues, just lie a lot and cheat.
I was young. I was stupid.
Young and dumb and full of fun. 12:16 at 560 WQM. So guess who's egging me on to take calls here? Your friend Zisco.
Okay.
He's annoying.
Okay.
He is.
Okay.
Not as annoying as Chuck in Chicago, who even after I ripped him an ass, he still sent me some other thing about Apsalatas, and I just deleted it.
Okay.
What part of... Oh, boy, you're still eating.
Oh, yeah.
We're down to 82 certificates, by the way. We still got a lot to go. Long way to go.
You guys are like Jewish mothers over here. They just keep giving me food.
Good. Well, we still got 82 to go out of the 100. That's 80, like I said. They're going in chunks. In time. Like Linda Blair would say, in time. Remember that?
Yep.
Do that again. In time. The Dow's up 52 points. Let's hear about it. Wow. Sounds like a real good selling opportunity to me. I wonder how Maria B's doing today. Anyway, Zisco says taking calls was just a suggestion. See, and he had done it under a different name a minute ago.
I see.
I poo-pooed it, and now it comes back as Zisco. George did it while you were gone, and it was great. Was it great, the calls? That's not what you told me.
Spectacular that I'm still vibrating from it.
It'll help kill time. You won't have to work as hard. I don't mind working as hard, okay? I got a pile of crap here, okay, Zisco? I got a pile of stuff.
Sure,
and I got my anniversary show coming up on Monday, and you'd think that after 33 years of working over a hot frickin' microphone that I wouldn't have to sit here and beg for emails. It says the cranks are gone with simple push of a button. I say go for it. Either way, the show's a great take care. Zisco. Screw you, Zisco. You phony, you faker. The cranks are gone. He's giving me instruction how to do the show now. The cranks are gone with a simple push of the button. Like this is my first day on the job. I think you got him on your side now. He's one of your people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's that MySpace crap.
That's it.
They all abandoned me, except the professor and Brandon. Everybody else abandoned me like I had a rash in my finger or something. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I don't want to make any rash judgments, but that's what it sounds like to me. Like Zisco jumped over to your crowd. How's that poll coming? You like it?
Maybe I do.
Oh. Well, we got the new one on there. We could change it. I don't want to change it. Maybe we got a shot at 1,000 votes. I don't think so. Shot at 900, though. We got another shot at love. We've got another shot at love. What minor injury is the most painful? 858 votes, of which 455, 53% say getting punched in the balls. Punched in the balls, baby. Punched in the nuts. Are you still eating?
Yeah, I'm eating.
Jesus, God, what a pig.
Jesus Christ.
Punched in the balls, 455. Paper cut, 116. That got my vote. I mean, we've all gotten, like, walked into a door or into, like, the side of a chair. I wouldn't call that getting punched in the balls, but like getting racked in the nuts.
Racked in the nuts.
Racked in the nuts. Oh, no. Everybody ought to have a good nut rack.
At least once.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't mean that. A nut rack where you put your nuts on.
Oh, really?
Paper cut 116. See, if there was a God, there wouldn't be such a thing as a paper cut. Your fingers would be stronger than that, or whatever the other piece of skin. How's my fingers looking, by the way? A lot better since I smeared on that Neutrogena. Although still a little red, rough, and sore. Is he still across the hall or what? Or did they bring him back? What did you tell me about him?
He's everywhere. All right?
He's like a disease. Maybe that's what I got between my fingers is Petey Lenny syndrome.
All right? You open the hood of your car, there's Petey Lenny.
Oh, God, what a thought.
Open the bathroom stall, Petey Lenny.
Stub toe 93, poked in the eye 59, ice cream headache 46, banged elbow 40, kicked in the shin 27, bumping your head on something 20, cut by shaving 2. So all you ladies out there will never have the joy of knowing what it feels like to get punched in the balls. Now what about getting punched in the crotch if you ain't got no balls?
It still doesn't feel good, but it's no comparison.
No, because those are really tender nuts.
Yes.
Oh, and somebody really rips you an ass about that candy, and I agree with them.
The candy?
Yeah, about those, I'll get to it. I'm trying to get back on
Good
my
and Plenty?
page.
Oh, whatever.
Good and Plenty, yeah.
Snore.
78. They're going in pairs. Couple here, couple there. We'll get there. You know what? We'll get where we get. Oh, Zisco's back again. You don't have to be crabby, old man. Bah, bah. No, I don't want to be crabby. Just quit telling me how to do the show, that's all. Do we have any problems with the show today? I don't have any problem with it at all. I'm having a good time.
I'm having a great lunch.
I sound fine. You're having a good lunch. Mm-hmm. The emails are coming in. I mean, they are what they are, even though you don't want to do the emails anymore. You're the one that put this in their head while I was on vacation.
Yeah, that's right.
Positive. You are the one.
Do whatever you want, man.
You know what? That's exactly what I'm doing. That's why they call it the Neil Rogers Show. That's why they call me.
Never told you what to do.
And also call me that, too. Mm-hmm. And I really don't care about either one. Just here, Most 11, as they say in China. Just here making a living. I'm a retired investor living on a pension. I guess he's not living on a pension anymore. They kind of cleaned that scene up real quick now that I think about it. In Godfather 2, they're at the end.
Did they?
Don't you remember? They were escorting him through the airport in Miami, no less.
Mm-hmm.
In Miami. And there was Rocco waiting to blow Hyman Roth away. And he did, and then, of course, they all blew him away. What did he think? He was going to make a getaway or something?
I don't know. Suicide mission.
I mean, one thing about all those guys that were pretty stupid. I mean, just like that bodyguard with the black outfit in Havana.
Yeah.
That was trying to smother Hyman Roth. Put the pillow over it. It didn't work too good, that pillow. If you're going to use protection against gunfire, a pillow is usually a pretty bad idea. Unless it's got like an ashtray in it or something like that.
Yeah, maybe you thought it was a bulletproof pillow.
Bulletproof pillow. Always a good idea to go down to your nearest Zayre store and pick up a couple of bulletproof pillows. Maybe we can get some spots for that pretty soon. On that new dime a dozen deal we got going. Penny a holler.
Sure.
Justin says, promos for your show late night on QAM. I'm telling you, that Flea, he's the only hope we got. The great little Jewish hope is Flea. Says the caller was right yesterday while listening to the radio in my car, not online. At 12:40 a.m., I again heard the promo for your show with a cover of a Beatles song, Ticket to Ride, and a few raspberries thrown in. Love the show. Keep up the best free radio out there, says Justin. That's right. It's the best radio that money can't buy. How do you like that? Alice Rantel is back in, and you know something? I'm positive it's the real Greg Budell and the real Alice Rantel. I'm sure of it.
Okay.
Even though you're a skeptic.
Yep.
Tell Sarah her and I are the only two left. See, it's not even literate. Her and I. Not she and I. Her and I are the only two left. Illiterate. Alice. See you at the Palace, Alice. $78. Still. Oh, the fake Larry King is back. Any plans for Monday's show? Why don't you fly in over the weekend and do Monday's show from QM with a live studio audience? No. I'm not flying in. I'm not doing a live studio audience. I'm not having Scott Chapin on. I'm not doing anything that you suggest, fake Larry King. Like I said, piano wire.
Yeah.
That would be the perfect way to finish off some of these chronics.
Fire. Gasoline and fire.
I like that idea. Reminds me of the scene in The Birds.
Uh-huh.
That's one of the all-time great fire scenes. You know another great fire scene was in Christine. John Stockwell, he was really pristine in Christine. Especially when he was laying almost naked there in that hospital bed after he broke his leg in a football game. He was laying there almost naked in that bed. So Carney says, well, they sure have got a problem with you all of a sudden since you did a week last week. What did you do last week that got them so pissed off?
You know, I avoid chat rooms quite easily. In those forums.
Yeah.
Easily.
So in other words, you took all those great calls. Is that what you're trying to say? You and Zisco, you took all those great calls? Take some calls, Neil. Take some calls. Just a quick punch of the button and they're gone.
No effort whatsoever.
What?
Crank chronic emails. I avoid them with no effort whatsoever.
Well, I avoid crank chronic calls with no effort at all. I don't even turn the monitor on. That thing hasn't been on in days and days. And hallelujah, praise the Lord for that. Thank God. Carney says Good and Plenty is by far the worst candy ever made. How can we trust George to tell us what food is good or bad when he's enjoying tar-flavored rubber? Hope you win at the races tomorrow, says Carney. Well, thanks, Carney. And George says thanks, too, for complimenting his great taste in popular candy. You don't find that like in a store anywhere.
Sure you do.
You only find that at the movies. Good and Plenty, you've seen that in stores? Well, what kind of store do you find that in? Like a drugstore?
Like all of them.
Publix, Good and Plenty, my ass.
I doubt it is. Although it is.
Anybody out there has ever seen Good and Plenty in a store, not just in a movie theater, I'd love to hear that.
Oh, Neil. Neil Rogers.
Hey, how you doing? This here is John Delonis, former editor of the prestigious New York Post. I'd like to personally apologize about the cartoon of the two cops gunning down the monkey. We here at the New York Post in no way encourage the assassination of your president. I mean the president. All of us here at the New York Post, we ain't got nothing against coloreds. You coloreds are all right by us. I mean, we tolerate less fortunate who weren't born pristine and white. For here in the office, we provide coloreds with their very own bathroom and water fountain. And another thing, Rupert Murdoch has taken matters into his old hands by replacing me with the new editor, Lee Harvey Oswald Jr., and just recently hired for the entertainment section, Johnny Wilkes Booth. So, no offense. How you doing?
Okay, we're doing 12:32. We still got 78 certificates left on the Keg South.
Tragic.
Tragic isn't the word for it.
Très tragique.
But that's the way it goes. Are they still there, those guys?
Yeah, they're here. They're nice guys.
Well, that's good. We apologize to them profusely. We're doing the best we can, but You know how things are. Nobody's got any money.
Right.
Including us.
Well, here's a way to save it.
That's right. Here's a way to get a great meal for like half off, but nevertheless. Phil Ark is really slipping. Some of these chronics on the emails who think that they're really clever and add so much to the show and are so much on the inside of radio. This is so old. This is older than Methuselah's great-grandpa. Barry Jackass had a posting on his blog about the upcoming changes to South Florida sports radio market, had blurbs from all the GMs. I think you'll notice you were mentioned there as well. See below. And this is this old stuff about Howard Davis, station manager of 790, said he would have beaten QM during the day if you compare sports to sports and take Neil Rogers out of the equation. This is ancient. And Joe Bell says this, and Howard Davis says that. This is older than, my God, Gabby Hayes' hemorrhoids. Jesus God, Phil Ark. Can you believe that?
I believe it.
Now we have a new fake. Derek Sanderson. Hey, Derek, have another drink. Ex-Bruins great and horrible broadcaster with the Bruins. Awful. He's no Pierre Maguire, though. No Pierre Maguire. You know Pierre Maguire? No. Just be glad.
I am.
Kiss the ground.
It's been a great game for him.
There he is.
Not be part of his
Who?
human highlight reel.
Pierre Maguire.
Who's that?
After turnover after turnover. He's overthinking the game.
He's a guy with a big mouth who never shuts up on the hockey games. And everybody in Canada from coast to coast and all the ships at sea would like to slice his bald head right off and watch it fall into Lake Ontario. But he just keeps going, pop, 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 and they keep sticking him on there. Derek Sanderson says, you were speaking of earwax and ways to remove it yesterday. I had the answer, albeit pretty gross. Also, I used to use self-help and just cram the wax in worse with Q-tips, then end up at the ear doctor's orifice and have the wax blown out with warm water. I remember once coming out of the doctor's office and my ears were so clean, when I got into my car I could literally hear and feel the friction of the seat in my back as I slid. But not to digress. I'm unsure how I discovered it, but if you take a simple Bic pen top, the curved clip part, and carefully scoop the inner ear, you can remove the wax. I do it. Great idea. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
I do it every few days as needed and have never had earwax build up since. Anyways, works for me, a dedicated no life or money listener, and go Panthers in New York tonight. The top from a Bic pen. Yeah, just stick that in your ear, or stick it in your wherever you want to stick it.
Just take your
Derek,
Bicket.
have another drink, Derek. What?
I said take your Bicket and stick it.
78 certificates left on there out of 100. We're dying over here. Keg South. I remember once upon a time, those that had gone in like 20 minutes, they'd have been all gone, or less. Am I right?
Yep.
So either one of two things. Nobody's got any money, which is stupid, because if they don't have any money, they ought to want to save the money on a meal. Mm-hmm. Or number two, we have got nobody listening, which is possible.
They have booze there. You can use it for booze.
Use it for food. Use it for booze. Use it for both. Either or either. 885 on the pool. We got 900 licked today. Pretty snazzy, and it's all because of George. Well, here's another stupid picture from this Hollister idiot about the Miami skyline. Delete immediately. Keep sending pictures. I keep deleting them, okay? Yeah. He's going to impress me with the beautiful Miami skyline. Ooh. I don't know, and I don't care. Enjoy it. The fake Larry King says, what is that racket out in the hallway?
Out in your hallway?
Oh.
Is the knobber out there?
Yeah, there's a robber coming in.
No, the knobber, not the robber.
No, the knobber comes on Monday.
Oh, I see.
The mad knobber. Fake Larry King says, think Mr. Ego would like to come in on Monday. Nick Lawrence can sit with George. Brian can do birthday song for you. Randy doesn't have much going on right now. I'm sure she would come in with Jim and Fat Hank. Oh, great. From the fake Larry King. Yeah, we're going to have a big party on Monday. Maybe even I'll have a party here, too. With party favors and balloons and cupcakes.
Well, I'll bring some. I'll bring some party favors, party hat.
Will you?
Yeah.
What do you call those things that you blow up? Those little things.
Like the noisemakers?
Yeah, the noisemakers that unfurl, you blow into them. Yeah, like those. What do you call those?
Noisemaker.
Oh, okay.
Guess what they do?
Floridians, dumb as dirt.
This sucks. Being here sucks. This work sucks.
We're swearing while we work. Profanity gravity is making me enjoy my new workplace. So F you and F you. Just say it strong, 4 letters long, and say it to my face. You won't offend the room. We all will just assume when something hits the fan that you don't give a damn and call it more than cool.
What the hell is this crap?
Crap.
You marshmallows.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like good and plenty to me. What happened to George?
I'm right here. What?
Oh. Well, every now and then, every once in a while, you just, like, clam up, you know?
Well, that's because I have a mouthful of food.
Still?
Still.
Get out of here.
I'm eating some fish dip with jalapenos.
Get out of here, Greg. Meg, whatever the hell it was. So she's not on the air at all now, huh?
I guess not.
Wow. How can America continue? How could the president make that scintillating speech the other night without the goddess on the air? 77, that's what we got left on these certificates. How many did you have left last week at the end of the show?
I don't know.
A lot.
A lot.
I think it must be those. I mean, it must be that pole that they're taking across the street.
That's it. They're putting us out of business.
Is that what it is?
Must be.
Well, just keep the checks coming. At least it showed up yesterday on time on the 25th. Day or two later than it usually does, though, I'll say that. They better start overnighting it, you know, just like that check I'm going to send out this afternoon. Overnight it. Not. John says good and plenties can be bought in the candy section of any dollar store. Since my kids were young, I would take them to buy the movie theater-sized box for $1. Well, I pay $3.75 in the theater. Oh.
You know, some people don't like black licorice. Maybe most people don't, but I do.
It's not the licorice part I don't like. I don't like the candy mixed in with it.
All right.
I don't like that pink and purple mung. Hope you have a happy end. What?
What? Like that shredded coconut in the Mounds bars.
Don't like it. I don't buy Mounds bars. In fact, I don't see Mounds bars anywhere. Now, doesn't a Mars bar, didn't it used to have like a little nut on top, I think?
Yes.
It doesn't anymore. It did?
I don't know.
What do you know? You don't know anything about candy.
That's right. I don't know anything about anything.
No, you do, but you don't. One thing you don't know about is candy.
Yeah.
You don't know your candy. You don't know your Mary Jane. You know the wrong kind of Mary Jane.
Oh, yeah,
that's
I know
all
about Mary Jane, trust me.
Hope you have a happy anniversary next week. I know this will be the year that WQM will send you over that card and complimentary gift basket. Stay well, John in Lake Worth. Not going to happen, John. They're not going to send me squat. And that's fine. They don't like me, so I don't like them. They hit us, we hit them back. You know, like that. Just like that. We hit Bruno Tattaglia, 4 o'clock this morning. Was it 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock? 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock?
I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care.
Well, I'm going to have to look it up now.
It's like these people with their trivia, with their Neil trivia. Oh, and didn't you used to do talk-ups to this song, and Ricky Ticky hated it? Oh, my God. I think some of these people are trying to parlay us off the air and doing a pretty good job.
4 o'clock.
Well, that's what I said. 4 o'clock this morning, we hit Bruno Tattaglia. Here's one, really interesting. Was it the black currant or the red currant you had? It was red. In the Publix on South Beach, they have a section of ethnic food from England, basically just the kosher food section, mostly stuff nobody would buy unless you're a silly Brit missing home. One of the items there is Robertson's black currant jam. Also, I believe Epicure Market carries other current products. Well, it's one thing about us on this show, we want to remain current. Don't we? But
we do.
I never saw black currants. Did you?
I don't know, maybe.
Well, leave it to the Brits to screw it up. They could take anything really good and screw it up. Red currants, little tiny red. They're like miniature. I don't know what you call them. Miniature fruits.
Okay, mini fruit, min fruit.
Mini fruit. I've seen a few of those. We've all seen some mini fruits. 77, 71. Oh, all of a sudden we got a chunk go there, Keg South of Kendall. It's on WQAM.com, by the way. Don't be looking to NeilRogers.com. WQAM.com, and they finally took that big air conditioning thing or whatever was off my face. So you can actually find it, so don't use that as an excuse. Oh, well, we couldn't find it on the site. Yeah, WQAM.com. We got 71. It's a lot less than 77, and we still got an hour and 14 minutes to go. Damn it. Lefty says, we love the show out here at Little Design House in West Palm. Some days the ladies make us turn the channel to 101.5 FM or listen to love songs and crap. The ladies will not let us listen to rap or heavy metal, so we have to make playlists that respect the ladies or wear headphones. Headphones can be very unsociable, so I thought you'd find it interesting to know the ladies, who are mostly young, find your show very funny. The ladies. So does Dirty Sanchez, Gay Bill, and the proofreader, who doesn't deserve you to say his name on the air yet. This is so illiterate and so stupid, it's just pathetic. Yesterday, the dude who said you can clean out your throat and clean your ears at the same time was right. I think he meant that you need to do the pig snort clearing of the throat, then you suck air to whatever. You're right. This is a new level. When you can set a new level of lowness on our email standard, then you've really, no, seriously. That takes some real talent.
Right. Expect nothing.
Set an all-time low. What?
Expect nothing and you'll never be disappointed.
Yeah, that's what I always said about the South Florida market. Expect nothing, they'll never let you down.
But thanks for reminding me, because I forgot to do that.
What?
Clean my ears and clear my throat at the same time.
Oh. Well, try it in the shower.
Myself a note, yeah.
I'll tell you what really is the best is when you, fart and clean your ears and clear your throat in the shower at the same time. Wow. That's got to be...
You got to keep a Q-tip handy.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
You never know where you're going to need to stick it.
Well, you never know when you're going to fart unless you can do it at will.
I'm very proud of myself about farting in the elevator the other night, a couple nights ago. That was good. Oh, Paco lost... he misplaced his... pass card, for the building again for the 400th time. You know how they have in apartment buildings, they have those cards, the security cards? Well, he misplaced it. Wanted to borrow mine for the 8 millionth time. What is it with kids? If their neck wasn't, if their head wasn't sewn on by their neck, they would lose that too?
Correct.
All of them.
Most of them.
Many of them. This one.
Yes.
Petey says, since it seems to be medical talk today, my right thumbnail's been cracking down the middle for the last year. Well, isn't that a shame? It really hurts when you catch the cracked part and tears down the middle. Like when I put my hand in my pants, what can I do? Well, quit putting your hand in your pants is one good start. And yes, I hate George like poison. And the kid who said the other day that he liked the wow wow drop, he was talking about the... No, he wasn't. I don't know what he was talking about, neither did he. And what's up with that bag of gas, Randi Rhodes? She's not on the air anymore. Good riddance, says Petey, who's obviously sour on everybody, on life. Sour. Really sour. I like sweet and sour. In fact, that sounds like a good Chinese lunch today. That chicken.
Yeah. You into chicken? Soup?
Straight Doug here as opposed to Gay Ted, says this one. George does a fine job on the air. Even though I don't roller skate, his stories of fun and adventure are entertaining and fun to listen to. I use Q-tips to clean my ears every morning after showering and floss my teeth every day. Oh, you're so boring, Straight Doug. Boring.
I wish I could remember to floss, but it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. They always ask you that when you go and get your teeth cleaned,
It's like, no, I don't
Are you flossing every day? Well, if I was flossing every day, would my teeth be bleeding like a stuck pig here? My gums are bleeding like a gusher.
You're supposed
Here's one from Greg. I've been away for several weeks and just returned to my orifice. I'm fortunate to have taken an African safari while on holiday, where I bagged several beasts for which to display their heads on my wall. This is really boring. You'll be sorry to learn I'll no longer offer you my advice to improve your show. Good. Thank you. Go away. Go back to Africa. Is Chicks and Sticks toasted coconut-covered mung? Blech. What is that? Chicks and Sticks?
Never heard of it.
I didn't either. By the way, the best candy is Mallow Cups. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it sure is one of my favorites, and I haven't seen it in about 100 years. I love those. They got the real goopy marshmallow inside, you know?
You know, Jackson's over here that we've spoken of.
Well, I don't want... I'm not. That's why I'm not there.
Good. You're going to die in here.
They have Mallow Cups?
They have all the old-fashioned candies.
Even Mary Jane?
I assume they do.
And the great part as a kid was you could save the cars they were on, and you collected a certain number of points, you get a free candy. That's right. I forgot that. Mallow Cups. You save a bunch of those little cards inside, and you get a candy. Pedro says the ones I like were the Good and Fruity, similar to the Skittles nowadays. Good and Plenty gave me Good and Plenty of Spilkies, says Pedro. You'd love the way that Pedro... Well, a guy named Pedro ain't going to be spelling Spilkies too well. $8.99 on the pull. We got 900 left. We can do $9.50 today. That would be really special. That would be as impressive as all get out. 69. I don't know if we can say that. Call up Joyce, see if we can say 69. That's how many certificates we got left for Keg South of Kendall. Maybe we don't have a whole big audience in Kendall anymore.
Maybe.
Maybe no habla inglés aquí.
Hola.
You think?
No, I think that it's just the economy. And you know that the $50 certificates always move slower than the $100 certificates.
No, they don't. 2 weeks ago we had 100, and I sold them out like in 4 shakes of a ass whale.
Well, I'm all out of ideas.
I'm not asking you for any ideas. Look, like I always say, we have so much pressure put on us for like the thing with me with the horse race tomorrow.
Right.
I got an 11-horse race. The horses in that race I wouldn't wish on Genghis Khan, okay? I already took a brief puke at it, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to pick a winner in this race? Well, there's bound to be one in there somewhere. And maybe I can get the tip from that New Yorkie guy that does the handicapping for them, on the TV thing. Oh, my God, that guy. So New Yorkie. By the way, you'll be interested to know he also picked last week. He did not pick the one that I had 2 weeks ago, that one by 7.5 lengths. The one with the Sicilian name, whatever the hell it was.
See?
But he also picked Guns and Roses and Noses and Blowses. And what was it last week? Ooger Booger?
Dr. Oogles Boogles.
That's
something.
it. Very good. What a memory.
Wow.
You're getting like me. You got a real good memory for crap. Bob B. says, wanted to wish you congratulations on your upcoming anniversary. Can't believe you made it in this market as long as you have. Neither can I. You're a true survivor. A quick story. I think it was your 25th anniversary when I sent you an old WID hand fan that had your picture in it. I found it, unfortunately, in my deceased brother-in-law's apartment that my wife and I had to clean out. Oh, you remember those hand fans that had my picture on them?
Those were nifty.
He was a huge neely, and when I found it, I had to send it to you. You must have had a Sun Sentinel reporter doing a story on you that day. The picture in the paper showed you up holding the picture fan in front of your face. Needless to say, I was touched. So have a great day, and don't let the a-holes get to you. I'm your friend in the Florida Keys, Bob B. He's our fan.
Excellent.
Yeah, I remember those fans. Boy, that's a long time ago.
I'm officially done eating, by the way.
Yeah.
Just so you know,
the guys
a
gone?
Keeping track. Yeah, they're gone.
See, I'm kind of embarrassed when they're still there to talk about how few we've sold and like that. It's just, it puts added pressure. 903 on the poll. We're kicking ass there. We're definitely not kicking ass on the, still 69 on Keg South of Kendall. $50 certificates for $25. We're doing what we're doing. We do the best we can, and nobody's got 2 nickels to rub together. That's the problem.
Right.
People are now eating like probably dog food. Let us know how the Alpo is. Will they have to heat it up? Will they have to nuke it, or what the deal is?
Okay.
No, I wasn't talking about you, but although you might fall into that category. What are you chortling about?
Oh, I told myself a joke I never heard before.
Just this morning.
That's right.
Paul says, a few months ago I moved down to Fort Lauderdale from Michigan to do my job. I found your show and I love it. I think George is great also. I think he did a great job when he filled in for you. The only problem that I have with your show is that I have no clue who you're talking about when you reference certain people. Who is Greg Budell? An a-hole. A make-believe broadcaster, a legend in his own mind, somebody who works in some little bo-punk town in Alabama now, who used to be a waiter at the Sterling Country Kitchen when my mother lived there in Carriage Hills. Who is Adam Kirshner? Well, the real Adam Kirshner is a guy that used to work with us at IOD, a producer board op, who went to work at the Sun Sentinel, am I right?
Yes.
And what's he doing now?
Still.
Sun Sentinel?
Yes.
He's working at what used to be a major newspaper that used to have like a bunch of pages in it, and now it's got about 2-3 pages. There are a lot of names you mentioned I've never heard of, and you never say who these people are. You just assume that all your listeners have been with you for years. I don't assume it, but I can't go back to the beginning and do a bibliography right from the start every time we do the show. Maybe you should put a dictionary on your website. Tell us who these people are. You can start telling us by who Moe and Geldy are. Love your show, but I have no clue who you're talking about. Thanks, says Paul. Well, you know something? That's a good thing for us. He loves the show, and he has no idea what we're talking about.
Oh, Neil! You're listening to Neil Rogers.
Well, here we go again.
The 1 to 2 hour.
Baseball fans everywhere. I'm not here to say that I'm sorry. I'll be honest with you. Today I plan to do steroids. Now the next step is to address the media about what I took and where it came from.
Alex, you talked about the performance-enhancing drugs. You discontinued the use.
Wrong.
Why?
I didn't stop. I keep going back to steroids. I just injected. Before I walked here today.
Some people may refer to this as cheating. How do you address parents now who have to talk to their kids about the fact that you profited from this?
First thing I said to parents is sit on it. If I had a son, I would definitely recommend steroid abuse. I thank you for being here. Thank you.
Yeah, sit on this. 101 at 560. $25 million a year to cheat. Pay rod, pay fraud, pay roids. And you know what? Who cares? Oh, baseball's starting real soon, Neil. Yeah, well, good. Good for you. Don't care. The Gravity guy says Ray Earwax. Boy, that sure guy elicited a big response yesterday, and even today, too, didn't it?
Sure has.
They care a lot more about earwax than about my fingers and my fungal infection. Although I'll tell you one thing, I smeared some of that stuff again.
Yeah.
And boy, they're looking still a little bit red and irritated in between those two fingers. But looking better.
Better?
Neutrogena, man.
Right. Well, if you're lucky, that's all it is a dry skin situation.
Dry skin?
From winter.
How about if I smear some on my
rectum?
It
won't be dry anymore, that's for sure.
Old wet ass. It says, I don't know if you brought this up already, but the subject of earwax reminds me of an occasion on the old Rick and Sud show on IOD. Wow! So this must be from another one of those people, another one of that crowd. When they brought in a lady who was selling an earwax cure that employed lit candles.
Yes.
They even did demonstrations right in the studio during the show. I remember Rick giving the disgusting details about how much yellow and green gunk kept dripping out of people's ears while the hot candles somehow drew out all this bad stuff. I vaguely remember that.
Yep, I do.
I think it was eventually proven to be some kind of scam.
It is.
Oh, not on the Rick Riley show. You know, so I left Suds off of that.
It's like a copper bracelet thing.
Yeah, just like that. All the Mexicans buy that stuff, copper bracelets. Mm-hmm. And your people, too.
Yep, sorry.
Well, everybody's got their thing, you know?
Ay, qué pena.
I beg your pardon?
I said, what a shame.
Aftulachas?
Yes.
For me, I'm with my pal George. I use Q-tips after showering to dry or clean out the wax. I remember my late father would just stick in the car keys to clean out the wax. Well, that's really classy. That's really
manly,
classy.
boy.
Stick it in the chassis, man.
I use a knife.
Stick the car keys in your ear. Oh,
I use a
God.
butcher knife.
I wonder where that expression came from, stick it in your ear.
I don't know. It's better than some of the other places they could tell you to
stick it in your rear?
Yeah.
Now, whatever happened to... Oh, well, there's this one.
You've got to stick your spoon in it, lad. Don't worry, it's not going to break.
And then there's always the classy Sally Fitz. One more time, Sally. Remember that? During the hurricane, during Andrew.
During a live broadcast.
Doing a live broadcast on Channel 7, and here's Sally Fitz. Stick it up your ass. Well, she just, I don't know.
And the funny part is they told her she was on the air, and she said, well, stick it up your ass a second time.
Yeah. She was a little surly and squirrely.
She was an
ass act. I think that was what her problem was.
You know how many people... Remember that confrontation?
What?
Do you know how many people... I guess it wasn't you, but it was somebody at the station got confronted by her.
I got confronted by her in the parking lot.
About that? How many people tell me... Believe that story?
I don't remember that part of it.
Oh, then it must have been somebody else.
I remember her saying to me, oh, yeah, I hear some of the things you say about me, and I don't like it. And I said, well, you know what, Sally? It's a radio show. Lighten up. Oh, I don't like it. Too bad. Screw you. And quit putting Coke bottles up your ass.
Do you like it?
God. I don't know if she liked it after that, but I don't think she quit with the Coke bottles or other objects. Maybe they were the object of her affection. Do you think that's a possibility?
No comment.
Here's one who says, get ready for mass coverage of the new White House dog. Enough already. Hey, George, getting ready to snowmobile today in Yellowstone National Park. Snowing like hell. Fantastic.
Very jealous.
Says T. You know T?
No, but I know Yellowstone.
Maybe he's hanging out in the T room at Yellowstone.
That would be fun.
Daisy, who just continues being... I don't know what to say about her.
You're going to be mean to Daisy now.
What?
So you're going to be mean to Daisy now, too?
Yes, I'm going to be mean to all of them.
Ah.
I bet if you looked up Payush Jindal in Webster's, it says redneck Indian next to his picture, says Daisy. Now, here's a little clip about Payush Jindal, which you probably haven't heard about, Bobby.
Not a lot.
How he picked that name. Payush Jindal was born to Punjabi. Indian immigrants, Amar and Raj Jindal, who had recently arrived for Amar to attend graduate school at LSU. Arrived from, I think. This is butchered. His father, Amar, left India and his ancestral family village of Kanpura in 1970. His mother, Amar, is an information technology director for the Louisiana Department of Labor, according to the family lore. Jindal, oh, I see. There's a period there. According to family lore, Jindal chose to rename himself Bobby, inspired by the sitcom character. And what were we talking about yesterday? What sitcom? Boy, that's just amazing how psychic I am. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, really?
He decided to rename himself Bobby, inspired by the sitcom character Bobby Brady, after watching the Brady Bunch TV series at the age of 4. Is that pathetic or what?
Yeah, I mean, of all.
He has been known by his self-adopted nickname ever since as a civil servant, politician, student, and writer, even though legally his name remains Payush Jindal. He's Punjabi. At least he ain't no smelly Chinaman, but he's Punjabi. What the hell was that?
What?
I don't know. Somebody upstairs just rolled dice on the floor or something. I don't know what the hell. Bobby Brady. I think we're getting even more insight into his brilliant intellect. That guy that wrote the other day, oh, he's not an idiot. He's, all this other crap. Just because somebody doesn't agree with me doesn't make them an idiot. Well, I disagree with that.
Yeah.
If they disagree with me, they're an idiot.
Right on.
And if they disagree with George, well, he thinks they're an idiot. GM burning through cash. Oh, let's give another $50 trillion.
This year, GM is asking Uncle Sam for another $16 billion.
Sure, no problem.
Today,
here you go.
Representatives from the company are in Washington again, and the company, meanwhile, is currently offering buyouts, wanting to slash up to 50,000 jobs. As for the stock reaction, well, GM shares right now are down 5.5%. Sounds like a big move, right? 14 cents, Kira, 14 cents because its share price is so low, below $2.50. Overall, the Dow is hanging on to
the Dow's up 27 points, but it's that lead there is vanishing. It's like a horse at the top of the stretch that's going to its hands and knees, gasping for oxygen. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that lead, that 8-length lead, is now down to 6 and 5, and all of a sudden the whole field is catching. And they come to the top of the stretch, and the whole field passes him like he's standing, like he's on the ground, puking and gasping.
Can run very well in here, and
there's that guy, that New Yorkie guy from Gulfstream.
Very nice.
And number 4 Decaf again getting off the turf. So is number 2 Irish Sport.
Well, let's do Gulfstream today. What are you saying? Get it over with.
Well, let me get out there.
We'll use these selections for tomorrow. Oh, that's right. George is going to be there tomorrow. I keep forgetting to read your promo because I got it buried under the schedule.
Sorry.
Well, let me unbury it. Now it's still buried. It's under, well, let me put it here. I don't want to not read it. Then you'll accuse me, oh, nobody showed up to see me because the old man wouldn't promote it. Yeah.
It's not about getting people to show up.
What is it about? Well, we got 65 certificates left, by the way. That's not so bad. It's not good, but...
Right.
What?
It's about getting a free lunch.
Well, that sure doesn't sound very...
What?
I'm scratching my head. I'm hoping to get some...
some skin?
Skin. Give me some skin. I smell it. Don't smell like nothing. I don't have no fungus. I guess a fungal infection is like nasty, huh?
It can be or not.
Like smells really bad.
It
like
can be
like
very
death.
minor.
Like death. Maybe.
I'm dying over
that
here.
Could be it.
That's it. You got gangrene. I hadn't considered
gangrene in my spleen, said that famous driver Barry Treen from Fraser Downs. I bet you won't hear about that on the Jorge Sedano show about Barry Treen and Bill Davis Jr. You won't hear about them. And the unctuous Cliff Warrington Jr., Clint, whatever his name is. Clint Warrington Jr. 65 left on the certificates for Keg South of Kendall. And there they are for you. $50 certificates, you pay just $25. I think we're talking to an empty house today. Well, now, is there something going on I don't know about,
like here in the building?
No, like in town. Not in the building.
That I know about either. So if there's a party, I wasn't invited.
Something big going on. Something really big. And speaking of that, next Thursday we got the trend coming out. Wow.
Oy!
Yeah, we got the first trend of the winter book. And then starting in April, we start with those purple people eater meters. And won't that be something?
Yep.
And we still haven't come to any kind of a conclusion about those ratings and the bonuses, whether they're going to be like on a monthly. We still haven't come to any conclusion about that. And that's because Norm Macenda is too busy sending out press releases about his stupid-ass blog and about his highly rated morning show on WFTL 850, which he never had a morning show on that FTL, but nevertheless. This is the life we have chosen.
That's right.
Michael, we're bigger than U.S. Steel. Remember that scene?
Oh, yeah.
Hyman Roth. Now, he's dead now, isn't he, Lee Strasberg?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Remember, he was ailing. He was coughing up blood during that movie. That's what that quaggle was.
Well, who was the other one who was dying during a movie? During, oh, geez.
Sterling Hayden?
Magnolia.
Oh, during Magnolia, Jason Robards.
Jason Robards, that's right. He had a little booze problem all of his life, and then he started dying.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a problem until later. When it killed him.
What do you mean by that?
It wasn't a problem up until it killed him.
Right, that's right. He didn't have a drinking problem. He had a dying problem.
He had a liver problem.
From drinking.
Right.
He was good. Jason Robards was great.
He was.
And one of the movies that nobody knows about is A Boy and His Dog with him and Don Johnson. That's a great flick.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's no, what's that one I'm supposed to like? Oh, There Will Be Blood. There will be blood. Bastard in the basket. Bastard in the basket. He only says that about how many thousand times?
About 30, man.
30,000 times there toward the end of the flick. Bastard in a basket. How could anybody like that movie? How could anybody, forget about recommend it. How could anybody like it?
I don't want to say anything. Some people I love dearly like that movie, and I just...
Really?
Rather not think about it.
Based on what? What do they like about it?
Daniel Day-Lewis's performance.
Oh!
They found the story to be interesting.
Oh! Woo!
It takes a little more than that for some of us.
Yeah. Like entertaining and,
Yeah, having a point to it.
There is no point. The point is he was a bastard.
Right.
And the kid was bastard from a basket. He wasn't his real kid. As if that made any difference.
Beware of exploding balls.
Absolutely. It's been brought to my attention that your ratings are dying now. Well, I want to show you what a big asset I was to you, and how. You thought you could find somebody good enough to fill my baggy pants? It ain't easy. There ain't no chance I'll ever be coming back. Outside of considering a lucrative contract. If you want to know what'll save you from shutting that transmitter down, why, that's easy. Sure.
All you need is mold. All you need is mold. All you need is a show. Mold.
He's your old time slot and only got you to thank, slot. Despite that, my ratings have bottomed out in this tank. Sports radio has a revolving door for the gayest of a whores and squeaky.
All you need is mold.
Now, see here.
All you need is mold. All you need is a show.
By the way, something. Jack told me to give you this.
What?
You see? What are you going to do, fire me, huh?
Like old times.
Yeah, like old times. That's what we needed, QM, like old times when the station had an audience. Back when Greg Reed was at the helm. Back when we had something going on. Back before we had Clarence and Jolly Joe Bell and Joyce destroying and butchering and raping and plundering and looting. In other words...
all of these things.
Right. Remember Dr. Al yesterday was giving me a song to dance about how he was terrified about his colonoscopy, and I said, don't worry about it, Al, it's a piece of cake. Remember that?
I do.
He says, you were right. Thanks for putting my fears to rest. You were absolutely right about the colonoscopy. It was no big deal because they knocked me out for the entire procedure. The worst part is going without solid food one day and having no food or drink until the procedure at 3 p.m. the next day. Man, it's good to eat again, he says. And congrats on your upcoming anniversary. Kind of like that's an afterthought, you know. Like the whole world is sitting on pins and needles worrying about what a wuss Dr. Al is about his colonoscopy. God. I'm sure it's not the first time you had tube up your ass or something. Oh, I'm positive. PR Ralph says, I was not aware. And this is like, like he's sitting there and all of a sudden an inspiration comes over him. And he goes and Googles something and looks it up. I was not aware that the actor who played Fredo, John Cazale, only did 5 movies. They were not won Oscar nominations. Then he writes, see, I'm smart, not dumb like everybody says. I'm smart. He writes, PR Ralph, your close personal friend, who's got real
I can handle things. I'm
problems.
smart. Not like everybody says. Like dumb. I'm smart, and I want the space.
Yeah. They said there was something in it for me, on my own, for me. That's why he joined the enemy. Mo Green, Johnny Ola, Hyman Roth. Not Mo Green. Mo Green was already...
You know I'd always take care of you, Fredo.
What?
You know I'd always take care of you, Fredo.
Here's one from your close personal buddy and partner in crime, Manny from Kendall.
Oh, yeah.
Armando Canas Ferrin. Just remember that the song promo I told you about yesterday is a song that goes back to when Stan Majors was on after you on the same station. Does anybody in the world care about this?
No.
I sure as hell don't. Do you, George?
No.
A local heavy metal group recorded this promo for you. I remember you had them as a guest on your show to thank them for the effort. Do you remember that?
No.
The 2 to 3 minute song basically consisted of awesome guitar riffs to the occasional chorus of Neil, Neil, Neil. No other lyrics in the song. No. Stan Major used to love putting that promo on his show. One time I called him and suggested we play each other's recording of the song with a 10-minute difference. The result was mind-blowing, all while I smoked a bowl on the air.
No.
Unfortunately, I can't find my recording, and you haven't played this since back in those days. Stan would actually play this more often than you did. Yeah, that figures. It's the best song ever promo for your show ever made. Stan could probably tell you what song it is if nobody remembers. No. I really hope you make an effort to find this lost gem, Manny from Kendall. No, we'll not make an effort to find it. We have no idea what you're talking about, and I'm sure that makes all 5 million of us. Nobody knows, and nobody cares. And I have a 3-word suggestion that will solve the problem. You know what it is?
Get a life?
That's it.
Wow.
Get a freaking life. Get a friggin' life. God. And, of course, in the case of that misfit, it doesn't really make any difference whether it's the real one or the, Let's see if we still have 65 certificates left. 58. Hey, we're making a little bit of progress here.
Sure.
You're poo-pooing it, but I'm, What?
Not poo-pooing anything yet.
You're poo-pooing. Well, you will be once all that food kind of settles in there.
Oh, did I eat like a
Well, what did you eat beside the steak?
Listen, first of all, they had steak tips, and then they brought this boneless ribeye in that I ate like half of. And a whole bunch of wings, 2 kinds of chicken wings, which I normally don't. These look really good.
Starving.
They're really good.
I'm starving.
They had this fish dip, which, you might not like it because it's a Jewish thing. But...
well, what the hell does that mean?
That's me being funny. Was really good, really fresh, and really firm. It wasn't slimy. Well, you don't like fish.
No, I don't.
So anyway,
I do like a filter fish, though.
This was a nice smoked fish dip, which really fresh, really good and smoky.
Oh,
and they brought some jalapeno peppers for it, So
aftalachas in your tuchas.
And then I had a half of a tuna wrap.
Yeah.
Tuna steak wrap. Yeah, it was great.
Sounds like damn good stuff to me. But we still have 58 to go on Keg South of Kendall. And, of course, if we don't sell them all out, we get a spanking. Gary Sarner brings in his boyfriend. He gets to spank us. Gary Sarner. When you told me that story about him leaving and then coming back in again, I mean, that old saying about having naked pictures, if you look up the saying in the Wikipedia, his picture's got to be in it. Naked pictures. Fired and rehired and quit and rehired and back. He's like part of the woodwork there. And when you move down the street, is that still going on in May or whenever it's going on, moving down the street?
I guess, whenever.
He'll be part of the woodwork down there, too. It's like when you go to college and like in the what do they call it? The eating place in the dorm.
The cafeteria?
Well, they don't call it that, though. Well, anyway, whatever it is, and kids carve their name or other goofy things into the woodwork. They encourage you to do it. They have a special wood panel place where you're allowed to carve your crap into there. NB 1960 or whatever it was. And it's the same with Gary Sarner. Whatever building this radio station will be in, he will be there. He will be part of the building. He's attached to it like John McCain and Jew Lieberman were attached to each other at the hip. In fact, when you think of Jew McCain, don't you think of Jew Lieberman? Don't you think of Gary Sarner? Sure. Jew McCain. Shirley, your good friend Shirley, who gave you the ticket at the track.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel has an even wider selection of old-fashioned candies if you're ever driving on a highway.
She's right.
If you see a barrel cracker, I don't know where you find Cracker Barrel anymore, like in malls?
They're by the highway. They're at, like, highway exits, not the rest stops.
Like Stookies.
No. Stookies are at the rest stops. Cracker Barrels are, like, at the exits. It's kind of a different scene. You know how rest stops are, like, in the middle of the highway there?
Yeah.
Where the gas stations and everything are? Mm-hmm. Stookies are just along the sides periodically.
Like where all the other 8 million fast food joints are. On every exit in America.
Right.
See, that's one thing we don't have very much of here, and that really frosts my ass. Because if you're driving, like, on the highway here, like on the Gardner Expressway, and you got to take a, Ace or Deuce or both or whatever, really desperate, there's really no place to pull off and find a fast food joint. Whereas in the U.S., I mean, every exit, you've got, like, signs showing you Wendy's and Mickey D's and Pizza Slut, everyone's ever been invented. Am I right?
Yes.
Not here, so I guess here you just pull off the side of the road and squat.
Holy cow, Aaron's coming. Well, congratulations. Get a life.
Another tough day on the jobs front. More layoffs being announced by another company.
Several major companies announced layoffs this week, including Dow Chemical.
It's getting serious. Thousands more people losing their jobs in the weeks ahead. Companies announcing major layoffs in manufacturing, finance, retail, and communications.
This is our moment. This is our time to restore prosperity and promote the cause of peace.
And I know that it's a wonderful world, but I can't feel it right now.
Yesterday's 60,000 jobs nationwide that were cut.
Economic forecasters say the fresh layoffs are only the beginning, and they predict more significant job reductions in the next 6 months.
It really is grim news for the economy here.
So let us summon a new spirit of patriotism, of responsibility, where each of us resolves to pitch in and work harder and look after not only ourselves but each other. Yes, we can.
And I know that it's a wonderful world. I can't feel it right now.
The road ahead will be long. Our climb will be steep. But America, I have never been more hopeful than I am tonight that we will get there. I promise you, we as a people will get there.
We the people, baby. 133. Oh, there's our president.
That's what they will be when I sign this budget into law.
There you go. He's taking no prisoners, whatever that means. That's another stupid expression, you know what?
Yeah.
Taking no prisoners. What the hell does that mean? I changed the poll, by the way.
Did you? Let me go look.
923 votes on the first one. What minor injury is the most painful? Well, the new one is a Charlie B poll, so don't get your hopes up too high. It's a Charlie B poll.
It's all right.
In honor of Black History Month, what late, great black entertainer are you most sorry to no longer have around to entertain us? And we could just say, do you miss the most? But Charlie B has to use a enormous amount of verbiage to make it seem more pseudo-intellectual. Ella Fitzgerald's got a pair. Ray Charles won. Marvin Gaye, I voted for him, won. Wouldn't you know I'd vote for somebody with a name like...
Gay. Coincidence?
What is it?
Gay.
Yeah. And Red Fox has one. And the list includes a whole bunch of other dark folks. Wow. Including even Scatman Crothers is on there. Nipsey Russell's on there.
Nipsey Russell?
That was the beginning of the end for game shows, was when Nipsey Russell died. Nipsey Russell. 923 votes on the original poll. What minor injury is the most painful? And, of course, punched in the balls wins hands down your pants, 491. 53 point, over a half of the audience said getting punched in the nuts is the most painful. Somebody, by the way, where the hell is it in my pile? Somebody took exception to the fact. Oh, here you go. Joe. This came in yesterday. Joe said, punch in the ball is a minor injury? Really? Yeah. Doesn't require surgery, stuff like that. What would you consider it, a major injury?
It depends on how hard that punch is.
Well, that's true. And depends on how soft those nuts were. Punch in the ball is $4.91. Paper cut, $1.25. How about a paper cut on the nuts? Wow. Can you even imagine that? Whoa. Stub toe, $96. Poked in the eye, $62. Ice cream headache, $49. Oh, my head's going to freeze. It's going to explode, man. Banged elbow, $43. Kicked in the shin, $31. Bumping your head on something, $23. Cut by shaving, solamente trace, only 3 out of 923 votes. Because that's really minor. It's like a nick. And I still wonder if they make those styptic pencils like they used to make.
They do.
They do?
Yeah.
Where do you see them? Like at the drugstore?
Yep.
Where you buy your drugs?
See, and your Q-tips.
I never see them. By the shaving crap?
I'm not sure where they are.
Because they do work. They sting like hell.
Yeah.
They really sting up a storm, those styptic. Is that what they're called? Styptic pencils? Am I saying it right?
Styptic something?
No, styptic. Oh, I'm going to have to... Oh.
Stick this pencil?
Yeah, stick this. I'm Googling it. Oh, I spelled it wrong, though. It's S-T-Y. I put S-T-I. S-T-Y-P. Styptic. T-I-C. Did you mean styptic pencil? Yeah, of course I meant it, you idiots. They're trying to say, like, oh, you're so dumb. An anti-hemorrhagic agent, a substance that promotes hemostasis, stops bleeding, hemostasis, stasis. Styptics are a specific type of anti-hemorrhagic agent that work by contracting the tissue to seal injured blood vessels.
There you go.
Styptic pencils also contain astringents. Wow. And it goes on and on at great length. You could kill like 100 hours. I won't, though, because it wasn't bad enough we did earwax yesterday, and now we're going to do styptic pencils today? I don't think so. And then, of course, we did my smelly fungus. I don't have no fungus. And I sure don't have no smelly fingers. What?
Probably not.
No, it doesn't stink. No. And it looks like it's making some progress. Maybe I'll just keep smearing that Neutrogena on it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Or what was that other thing that Adam Oshmuck wanted me to get?
I don't remember.
I got it here somewhere. Just relax. Get yourself some Glycomed hand cream.
Oh.
Nobody else has chimed in on that.
Never heard of it.
I didn't either. Glycomed. I think Adam made it up. He found it in his Johnny Bauer scrapbook. And don't be messing with Johnny Bauer, Adam, okay? He wouldn't know Johnny Bauer from Papa Bauer. Wonder if we got any horse racing going on today. I bet we do. Getting ready for the big day. Don't forget, George will be at Gulfstream 10 to 2 the whole show tomorrow. Go out there and bring him a big bag of money you guys can bet on. And, of course, here at Turfway Park for the lead.
Down the backstretch, Doc-a-Lot leads at a length and a half.
He is just...
is second.
Is second.
And from the outside...
Horrible. Talk about pedantic. Talk about old country fumbly...
Howdy Boy Ribs 6.
Fumbly bumby for the lead. Mike Battaglia may be the worst in his craft. You know, it's one thing to be the best in your craft in all time, but it's another thing it takes quite an accomplishment to be the worst ever at what you've ever done. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Moving into the stretch.
Into the stretch.
Leader is Doc-a-Lot.
On the outside.
From the inside, that's Sweet Strawberry. Center of the track, Sport, and Phil is third.
Oh, it's just amazing to me. He's got to have naked pictures. Mike Battaglia. Brandon says, you have a real nice Cracker Barrel in Pembroke Pines right off Sheridan I-75. Like the lady said, you can get a lot of old-fashioned candy like Zagnut, Clark Bar. Oh, I love my Clark Bars. God. Necco Wafers and Mary Jane's. Now, Mary Jane's, the big thing with them was the honey.
Yeah.
Weren't they like molasses? Not honey, molasses.
Right.
It was like taffy surrounding molasses. Oh, I could eat like a whole bag, sack of 500 of those.
Ever put molasses on your asses?
And Clark Bar, in the bright orange label, you know, didn't have like blue letters and like a bright orange, almost red. You haven't had no Clark Bar. I don't think you ever had one.
I think I might have, but it's been a long time.
Well, I think that those people who are friends of ours ought to bring you in like a big sack of stuff from Jackson's Ice Cream Parlor.
What a great idea.
Or maybe from the Cracker Barrel. Because Brandon says we got one in Pembroke Pines. Right off Sheridan.
Yep.
What?
Yep. I like
75.
The Cracker Barrel.
You're listening to Neil Rogers.
Lap he's paid for second, Hungarian gent. From far back, getting up for third. Time for a Hurricane is fourth. And Handsome Wager will complete the high five.
Wow, get a high five for our spastic friend from Tampa.
Neil, God.
This sucks. Being here sucks. This work sucks.
Well, I played that already. Sorry. What I wanted to play was this.
This is CNN Breaking News.
The last days of the Bush presidency reportedly included a rift with Vice President Dick Cheney. Cheney reportedly still holds a grudge.
Mr. Bush, Mr. Cheney, together again.
It's good to be back here again. Good to see you again. Whatever.
What's the story about you two still having a problem?
I admitted that Dick Cheney's not the prettiest face. I have differences of opinion.
Hey, guys.
Dick Cheney's bash. Thank you, George. It wasn't me.
Dude, I saw you.
I'm broken. Oh, he's going to be in the hospital apparently for a few days.
Hey, George, how many fingers am I holding up?
Well,
he's okay.
CNN Breaking News.
Yeah, break a leg. It's 140, what is it? 145 at 560 WQAM. Well, I changed the channel on there, and that's bad, because then it puts the channel number up there instead of the digital time on your cable box. And it's +5, and they're off. That guy he sends me. The guy from Tampa. He's good, but he's spastic. Every race is not the Kentucky Derby. Every race is not the end of the world, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they're off. He's just wild. He's good, though. He's accurate. I mean, what is it you want to hear from a great race caller? Excitement and accuracy, right?
Sure.
And a good voice. Am I right?
Right.
Right. The reason I mention that is because George is going to be at Gulfstream tomorrow. Go by and see him. We got 55 certificates, I believe, is the number. Are you checking it out or not? No.
No.
Well, let me refresh it. 55, 51. Whoa. How do you like that, Mr. Poo-Poo?
Caca.
Oh, A-Rod homers in second at bat during spring debut in 61, went over to Blue Jays. Well, screw him. Screw him and a banana boat he came in on. Payrod. Fraud. A total fraud and a disgrace. And so he was banging Madonna. Well, who the hell hasn't? Other than me, who hasn't? How'd you like to be in there where Denise Rodman once was, huh? What a thought that is. Isn't that enough to kind of like turn off a lot of guys?
Yeah.
No? Denise Rodman?
You.
Exactly. Larry says, sorry for the second email. No problem, Larry. But beside the regular styptics, there's a liquid one, too, and it's right by the shave cream. There's a liquid styptic. Wasn't that Mike Styptic? Wasn't that his name on All in the Family?
That's, yeah, very close.
Yeah.
Michael Septic.
Tank. Vegas Dave Sager, whoever that is, says, I'm down here visiting South Florida, rented a car with Sirius XM radio built in. There's some amazing, entertaining radio without the FCC D-bags horning in. You really need to get something on there so we can hear on Neil Unleashed. No, we're not going to get anything on there. It's not going to happen. Sirius XM are going to go out of business and stop with the satellite crap. Just telling the Chronics to F off would be liberating, and think of all the Yiddish cursing you could throw in. Priceless. Not to mention the long-awaited return of the band Bits and Drops. Here's what I don't understand. I'm just down here visiting South Florida, and yet this is somebody who alleges to be an expert on the show with all the band bits in it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somewhere there's that must be my fungus. And then he says, I think Bobby Jindal's an automaton. He certainly delivers a speech like one. P.S. Have you ever discussed the weight supplement Ali? A-L-L-I. You ever heard of it?
No.
It works as advertised. I've taken it for months. But don't ever leave the house without 2 pants of underwear and the darkest colored pants you can find. Ali. Never heard of it.
Me either.
They got a whole thing about weight loss. In fact, they were pitching it on the news here last night. Because, once these things make the wire services, they all stick it on there about, there's no difference. It's all about calories. It makes no difference what kind of diet you go on and yada, yada, all that other crap. It's bull crap. Especially if you're diabetic. National Institute of Health pitching this crap. Heart-healthy, reduced-calorie diets promote long-term weight loss. And it says, heart-healthy diets that reduce calorie intake regardless of differing proportions of fat, protein, or carbohydrate can help overweight and obese adults achieve and maintain weight loss. And I'll save it for tomorrow because I know it's going to be scintillating. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. George will be at Gulfstream. Lots of horse racing stuff here. Lou Rawls is the greatest, deserves to be on a poll. Isn't he on there? There's only like 600 names.
I'm looking.
You got it?
I'll add it.
Add it on there. Add Lou Rawls. Is the greatest. I don't think he's the greatest. He does deserve to be on there. He deserves to be on our poll. Let's see. 51 certificates. Let me check it again. One more time. 51 still. Well, it's almost half. And most people are wishing they had half the money they used to have, so I guess that might have something to do with it. Half being the operative. Since my paycheck showed up yesterday, half being the operative term, Joe Bell. I still say a lot of this is fraudulent.
And I agree.
A lot of grave robbers seizing the opportunity to tell, everybody woke up one day and everybody was broke, and everybody didn't have any money, and nobody was buying stuff anymore. Everybody was broke. Just all of a sudden, out of the blue, everybody had a toxic loan from some stupid-ass bank. Do you have any toxic loans?
Yeah.
I don't got no toxic loan. I got a toxic paycheck that showed up yesterday from a bunch of grave-robbing yahoos. Rick says, this is the same crap as yesterday. I think what the guy's asking about is the old Zeta promo, Neil. No, I played it yesterday. That's not the one he's talking about. Rick. Get with it, Rick. And nobody cares anyway. What difference does it make?
Right.
About some song that Manny from Kendall has made up in his mind, or whatever the hell he's doing. Him and Stan Major. Maybe Stan Major is sending half of these emails for all we know. What do you think?
Nah.
Inviting me to invite him on the show, suggesting I have Stan Major as a guest. We don't do guest, number one. And number two, if we did do guest, he would be one of the last people. I mean, who the hell remembers Stan Major? Anybody out there remember Stan? No. And talk about ponderous and boring. Unless we got him a big stogie. You got to admit this, he's still alive, and he survived all those big stogies for all those years, huh?
Yeah.
Larry says, yesterday you want to know why your screen bounces once in a while or shakes. Yeah, on the Outlook Express. If you have a cell phone too close to a PC monitor, the phone radio waves in. It's got nothing to do with my cell phone, only if the cell phone is ringing. Well, the cell phone wasn't ringing, and the cell phone sits there next to my thing all the day, and it doesn't have anything to do with it.
It might.
It might what?
Sometimes they update. It's not about whether or not it rings, but if it's... so
in other words, but only on Outlook Express? Why would that be?
No. Doing a send and receive, it might just be a coincidence that that's what you have open.
But you don't understand, when I get out of Outlook Express, it stops shaking. When I go back to it, it's shaking again.
Well, then.
It's that frickin' Outlook Express that you talked me into.
Yeah.
God, is that thing a piece of dreck. Also, Larry says, if you have earwax, just get a dropper in the shower, put a couple of dots in the ear, wait a minute, rinse out while you're in the shower. A couple of dots in the ear, what does that mean?
Drops, I assume? I don't know.
Dots, he says. I think he doesn't know dots from drops, and I'm reading his crap. Jesus God. Here's one that says, I love the old school Cuban radio station blaring into your signal. Could you turn it up, please? Thanks, you're a mensch, whatever that means. Always a fan, Frankie Five Angels. Mm-hmm. And here's another one that you're going to dislike.
Whatever.
From a chronic sourpuss. Why don't you take off next week, let George do your show, then you'll lose another 25% of your audience. Rafiq. Well, Rafiq. You'll lose another 25%. Yeah, exactly. The pain is so great, and you don't even have the fungus. But as I look at some of these emails, man, I'm convinced there is a fungus among us. Make no mistake about that. The new poll is up there, and we're pretty embarrassed by it, Charlie.
You're listening to Neil Rogers.
Ew, good. Today on TMZ.
President Obama campaigned for his economic recovery plan in Fort Myers, Florida.
Last question.
Oh, it's such a blessing to see you, Mr. President. Thank you for taking time out of your day. Oh, gracious God, thank you so much.
You're going to school. What are you studying?
I'm looking to study and majoring in communications, hopefully being a broadcaster or a disc jockey.
That's is unfortunate. What a waste of money.
Today on TMZ.
Amen to that. Wow, what a waste of time and money that is.
Neil Rogers is on South Florida Sports Leader, 560 QAM.
We know South Florida sports.
That's why we are South Florida Sports Leader, 560 QAM.
It stinks in Miami town.
You Perry.
at 560 WQAM.
Hello again, everyone, from the Channel 7 News Center. I'm Rick Sanchez with your 60-second Gulf War update. We have some new reports that just came in. They're hard to explain, so let's move to the Middle East war map. Rick's World, if you will, and I'll try to explain.
Rick's World, party on, excellent.
Party on, everyone. I'm your most excellent anchor, Rick Sanchez, and with me, as always, Sally Fitz. Party on, Sal.
Party on, Rick. Called San Pedro lately?
Not since I've been back from Houston. People in the business remember, but fortunately for me, the public has a short memory.
Say, what about that guy you flattened? Is he still in a coma?
Yeah, still in a coma. I'm so glad you brought that up, Sal. Not. Anyway, Hussein blew off a couple more scuds at the occupied West Bank, but those awesome Patriot dudes intercepted.
Kaboom! Kaboom!
As you know, the insane Hussein... Gosh, can I turn an original phrase or what? He has poison gas, but as I squat over Baghdad...
Gas mask alert.
I'll give him a gas of my own.
Hot air out of both ends.
Hussein today said...
Yeah, look at the... I do not know the secret weapon the Americans have. The 40-foot colossal news anchor with the chapped lips, squatting over my country with a smelly gas. My troops are all fleeing, but for me, I ran. But I couldn't hide.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Party on, Sal.
Party on, Rick.
I'll sit and squat so you worry not. Rick over Iraq for Channel 7 News.
Bye, bye, bye.